We just turned it on.
Okay.
All right.
Shabbat shalom. You guys have problems here. Call him so we can walk.
Yeah, no, we just turned it on.
Okay.
All right. Shalom.
All right, shalom. All right. Who was that called me 437 number? Somebody said that we wasn't.
Yeah, that was Ariat telling me the same thing. Daniel said we have problems calling. I said we just turned it on.
Yeah, but sure, I can't even find a stream.
Click on there, just keep refreshing. Keep refreshing God's word. It'll pop up.
Yeah, I see Rod standing up now. I just heard Bruce, I can't find a stream.
Really?
Yeah, I'm tripping.
You ain't got to watch the phone. You can start talking.
Right, no doubt. It's good. We good. Shabbat shalom, worldwide family.
Shabbat shalom.
I don't know who you thought I was talking to.
There's your answer.
I don't know who you thought I was talking to.
Yeah.
Shalom, family. Shabbat shalom. We kind of just off a little bit because there's only 5 of us in here. So.
We at near capacity.
Right. So
Got room for one more.
I tried to get Elisha to paint a crowd on the back wall by today. So we are here and we thank the Most High, His only begotten Son, with the Holy Spirit, that we will be able to be here today.
That's right.
We're actually waiting on a 2-people audience to show up, so we have somebody to talk to. What we're going to do today, we're going to continue One Voice Crying in the Wilderness from last week. So this is part 2 of finishing up this class. We're going to have somebody trying to monitor the questions, because our only questions will come from online. So we are going to, we might not be here as long. It just depends on how the Spirit flow, without any, questions and stuff and all that. So what we got is what we got. We're going to get through what we got and we're going to get out of here. So we thank again the Most High and His only begotten Son for us being here.
Yes, sir.
And we are opening up today with Psalm 62.
All right, y'all. We'll get this opening prayer with the Most High's permission. Sir. In the name of His only beloved and begotten Son, our uncrowned King, our Lord and Savior, and our Redeemer, Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. And we know Him as Jesus the Christ, y'all. Long live the King.
Long live the King.
Reading in the book of Psalms, in the 62nd chapter, it reads, "Truly my soul waiteth upon Yah. From Him cometh my salvation. He only is my rock and my salvation. He is my defense. I shall not be greatly moved. How long will ye imagine mischief against a man? Ye shall be slain, all of you. As a bowing wall shall ye be, and as a tottering fence. They only consult to cast him down from his excellency. They delight in lies. They bless with their mouth, but they curse inwardly. Selah.
Selah.
My soul, wait thou only upon Yah.
That's right.
For my expectation is with Him. He only is my rock and my salvation.
Oh.
He is my defense. I shall not be moved.
That's right.
And Yahweh is my salvation and my glory. The rock of my strength and my refuge is in Yahweh. Trust in Him at all times.
All times.
Ye people.
All times.
Pour out your heart before Him. Yah is a refuge for us. Selah.
Selah.
Surely men of low degree are vanity, and men of high degree are a lie. To be laid in the balance, they are altogether lighter than vanity. Trust not in oppression, and become not vain in robbery. If riches increase, set not your heart upon them.
That's right.
Yah hath spoken once, twice have I heard this, that power belongeth unto El Elyon.
That's right.
Also unto thee, O Master, belongeth mercy, For thou renderest to every man according to his work. Hallelujah!
Yeah!
Say God! Yes, sir.
All right, y'all. All right. That got the spirit going good. So what we're on is that we on the one voice crying in the wilderness during these times. This class is about strengthening up our people, the Lord's people, and you see the difference today of who really believes and who just running around fat mouth. Who running around ain't even talking about him. Okay? So this is for our people. And where we started out last week, we went through the story of Noah and the people who had 120 years to repent, and they didn't even thought about him till that first raindrop fell. Okay? So then we moved from there into the book of Isaiah with the Most High speaking to us, reminding us who he is and who we are to him. So that's where we're going to continue through. So we're going to start out today and pick up in Isaiah chapter 42. So we're reading 42 and 43 and 46 and 47. Then we're going to jump down to some Jeremiah 10 and 12 chapters off. So, thank you.
All right. I'm going to start on reading in the book of Isaiah in chapter 42 at verse 1. Let's get some understanding, family. Behold my servant, whom I uphold, mine elect, in whom my soul delighteth. I have put my spirit upon him. He shall bring forth judgment to the Gentiles. He shall not cry, nor lift up, nor cause his voice to be heard in the street. A bruised reed shall he not break, and the smoking flax shall he not quench. He shall bring forth judgment unto truth. He shall not fail, nor be discouraged, till he have set judgment in the earth, and the isles shall wait for his law. Thus saith Yah, the Master, he that created the heavens, and stretched them out, he that spread forth the earth, and that which cometh out of it, he that giveth breath unto the people upon it, and spirit to them that walk therein. I, the Most High, have called thee in righteousness, and will hold thine hand, and will keep thee, and give thee for a covenant of the people, for a light of the Gentiles.
So right now, for his people, you remember just this one thing. If you a little afraid right now, ask him to hold your hand like he said he would.
That's right.
Just ask him to hold your hand, Lord. Please hold my hand. Because I'm weak and I'm a little scared right now, but my faith and trust and hope is in you. Strengthen me, Lord. Hold my hand. Read on.
Verse 7. To open the blind eyes, to bring out the prisoners from the prison, and them that sit in darkness out of the prison house. I am the Most High, that is my name, and my glory will I not give to another, neither my praise to graven images. Behold, the former things are come to pass, and new things do I declare. Before they spring forth, I tell you of them. Sing unto the Most High a new song, and his praise from the end of the earth. Ye that go down to the sea, and all that is therein, the isles and the inhabitants thereof. Let the wilderness and the cities thereof lift up their voice, the villages that Kedar doth inhabit. Let the inhabitants of the rock sing. Let them shout from the top of the mountains. Let them give glory unto the Most High, and declare his praise in the islands. Yahweh shall go forth as a mighty man. He shall stir up jealousy like a man of war. He shall cry, yea, roar. He shall prevail against his enemies. I have long time holden my peace. I have been still and refrained myself. Now will I cry like a travailing woman. I will destroy and devour at once.
So right now what this is happening, we just seen a preview of what's to come. And we see what he's saying he gonna do when that time comes. But this is not that time. So we see he say what he gonna do, so he ain't doing that right now. He's showing his power. He's showing, because he said, I'm gonna put plagues down. So just because he's saying I'm gonna put plagues down, don't mean because a plague is put down that this is the end of the world.
That's right.
Okay, so we are just giving a preview. Like Daniel said last week, if anything, at a minimum, that this is the beginning of Jacob's sorrows, right? But there's a lot of Jacobs out here ain't sorry right now. There's a lot of Jacobs out here rejoicing right now. We're rejoicing in the fact that we seeing him move. We're rejoicing in the fact of all how our households are still running. How we moving about. How we not lacking. We not in that wilderness yet, but we can still go to the store.
Yeah, exactly.
We can still eat, we still get paid, we still all of these things, but they're not yet.
Yep.
So if Jacob ain't sorrowful right now, and his people and Jacob is rejoicing right now, then what time is that? But at a minimum, this is the beginning of things to come.
That's right.
Okay, because we know we're gonna have 3.5 years of good time and 3.5 years of bad time. But there's no date that says when that starts. So don't look at all these false prophets out here talking smack, because they've been talking smack for years and they never proved nothing. Okay?
Every new plague is a new doomsday.
It's a new something.
Yeah.
It's a new something.
Ain't that something?
But this one here, they shutting it down. They're shutting it down. So read on.
Verse 15. I will make waste mountains and hills and dry up all their herbs. Oh, Lord. And I will make the rivers islands, and I will dry up the pools, and I will bring the blind by a way that they knew not. I will lead them in paths that they have not known. I will make darkness light before them, and crooked things straight. These things will I do unto them, and not forsake them.
So these blind people that the Lord is talking about here, other than what we said last night, making them last week going into paths that they have not known, but these are also people that when he say these things, this thing ain't happened yet. But you see this blind also as a time that people will say, hey, I do believe and see what the Lord is doing. And this is in time for me to increase my faith. This increasing your faith in learning about him. If he bless you to understand who he is and who his son is and who you are in the truth, for you to go on now, you are not blinded anymore, and you are going to go now in a path that you ain't been in anymore. You ain't never went down this path. You ain't never seen what the truth is. You ain't never seen or never knew or understood. All you knew is that you believed. And he said that those who diligently seek me shall find me. So it should be a lot of seeking going on right now in these times. There should be a lot of seeking, but are we hearing people seeking, or are we still hearing this mess that goes on in this world? Like I say, we ain't hearing none of these groups, Democratic, Republican, the alphabet people, the Klan, the skinheads, the Black Panthers, these other camps out here. We ain't hearing nobody out here saying, as a group that is known, standing out there, Lord have mercy on us.
Right.
I ain't heard it yet.
Right.
I ain't heard it yet. Except out of my mouth. Okay? So this is where we're at right now. This is a time to seek him. while he may be found. Because
this
go ahead.
situation may also bring about those who were skeptics or shaken in their faith before. They may come onto the true understanding at this point. You know,
That's what we pray for.
things are going to be seen. There's going to be a lot of things that's going to take place that's going to either draw their faith or
Nigh to him.
to them hundredfold. And so, you know, according to the scripture, anytime we're dealing with any situation in the script would tell us the Most High is very specific about what he's talking about. And this is why he's always telling us, lean not to your own understanding, because he verily tells you and us what to do, what's to come, what he means, what he's talking about, what he's in reference to according to metaphors and dark sentences. All you have to do is read, study to show thyself approved. Read on, because he's going to tell us, he's going to break down so there's no misunderstandings as to what he's talking about or referring to. He don't leave us out there just to wander around.
Right. Blind.
Guessing.
So when he's talking about these blind folks, he's not just talking about literally blind, but he's talking about those who are blind and deaf in the faith. That's why he's constantly saying, he that have ears and do not hear.
Right.
Those that have eyes that do not see.
Yeah.
Because those who have been awakened see the things that are going down. We see the signs of the times. We're not looking for a particular date.
Right.
We're judging the signs and the seasons and going according to that. We're not shaking when we see things go happen in this world, and we're still looking up and seeing the sun and the moon.
Right.
But see, and not to cut you off, Og, but I noticed in the chat that Jacob is telling him that Tazadaki gave up the ghost, but that's the wages of sin. Because you out here blaspheming the Holy Spirit.
Blasphemy.
Then first, he showed the world who you truly are by taking whatever power you had out here in these streets and putting your ass behind bars.
Is that the dude that say he
Yeah, he was supposed
The Holy
to
Comforter.
be. Yeah.
he the who?
No, he's dead as Julius Caesar.
The niggas
He-
is dead Matt now.
Yeah.
Holy Comforter that did a plea deal.
Exactly.
How you can't save yourself from that?
He ain't no comforter, he just a holy rug now.
Right, when he caught that Wuhan, he needed a comforter.
That wasn't there.
But hopefully he repented and got it.
Hey, you know, hey.
But then again, for blasphemy in the Holy Spirit,
There is.
How you
Come on,
gonna
man.
repent for that?
Come on, man.
Who have reduced the Son of Man to a mirror image of a man.
Right.
A sinful man.
Corruptible
A
flesh.
sinful man.
Yeah, man. But
Bro,
that's,
I ain't mean
Let's read on.
Like,
You, what you gave was right on point.
verse 17. They shall be turned back. They shall be greatly ashamed that trust in graven images. That say the molten images. Ye are our God.
Now, just hold up real quick. Just because of the subject matter we was just talking about this dude, we know that he had graven images of himself. He had a little G.I. Joe doll made up in his image.
Yep.
Me and the Rib was looking at it yesterday.
Y'all got one?
we had a kung fu grip.
But the thing I told her, I say, now, how do you, as black as tar as you are, you make a doll that look like you that don't look like you? He look like G.I. Joe. How you gonna make a light-skinned version doll of yourself? He should have been black as you would have been.
It was light skinned.
Yeah, it was light-skinned. And the thing about it is, what we just read was that the point of it all is that they shall be turned back. They shall be greatly ashamed that trust in graven images, and say that the molten image. Let me start over, y'all. That say to the molten images, ye are our gods. So all those people that followed him, and all those people that were blindly believing in him and bought those dolls, you bought you an image. You bought you a graven image of a man And how ashamed are you? That's what I was looking for in the video we watched last night. I wanted to see the people say, I tripped.
Right.
I didn't see nobody say, I tripped. They still defended him.
Pride kicked in.
But see, that's even like back in the verse 8. It says, I am the Most High. That is my name, and my glory will I not give to another, neither my praise to graven images. Then he says, behold, the former things are come to pass, and new things do I declare. Before they spring forth, I tell you of them. So that nigga couldn't do none of this, and now he's got his comeuppance, or whatever.
Come downins.
Whatever it is, he's paying the price.
Come downins.
Verse 18, hear ye deaf, and look ye blind, that ye may see. Who is blind but my servant, or deaf as my messenger that I sent? Who is blind as he that is perfect, and blind as the Most High's servant? Seeing many things, but thou observest not. Opening the ears, but he heareth not. Yahweh is well pleased for his righteousness' sake. He will magnify the law and make it honorable. But this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses. They are for a prey, and none deliver.
None.
For a spoil, and none saith restore.
Who fills up the prison house?
We do.
Who get free cases of multitude?
We do.
And none said restore.
Nope.
And when they get out, they just release them back. There's no rehabilitation.
Right.
Back to doing the same thing.
Yeah.
They
You
just
go
learn
right
how to
back
be either a better criminal, or they become broken down so bad that they commit suicide like that boy Khalid.
And see right here in the beginning of this 22, it says, but this is a people robbed and spoiled. So we were first robbed of who we was, and then we were spoiled for them getting all their wealth and goods out of us.
Right.
We're still spoiled because who do we go to and give our money to? Look at the people who profit off of us with our pennies. That we know that in this land that the stranger among us will get up very high and we shall come down very low.
That's a prey.
But also,
they come into our neighborhoods and prey upon us.
that's it. And also that they are all of them snared in holes. That's snared in holes, and say all of them, that's our public education system. See, these are that's the welfare system, that's the religious system, the Democratic Party, all these things that got us caught up that we are believing in. Them holes that we're snared in is like you stepped in a snare like they would, in the old days they set out to catch Bugs Bunny. He stepped in that little trap and he'd catch his leg. So he's snared, right? But he ain't dead. You come back and find that animal still alive, but you just got him caught, right? So these are the things that we as a people that are snared in holes for. So when you listen, exactly, when you listen to these Gentiles talk about, oh, the crime and then black people this, black people that, the first thing I say was, look what you did to them though. How can you expect someone? They are the product of what you did. Like the Lord say, we here for our own reason, for our own disobedience, but these people were not supposed to treat us like they treated us. So because they treated us like they did, he said, I'm gonna make them pay for that. Okay, so they still have to answer to the things that they have done to us. So whenever, anytime you have been racially judged simply off the color of your skin, and that person did something to you just because of that, that's also like a hole that we're snared in. That's a hole that we're snared in because of our disobedience. So like you say, that you give a child all the way up through the public school system and he graduated and can't read. I went to college with niggas who couldn't read. Just because they played basketball. And I'm like, how the hell he get into college for free that I still owe for? And he can't read? He didn't go on to become the NBA. He went to jail for selling dope. Okay? That's what happened to his college scholarship. He still ended up in jail. Okay? And couldn't read. Read on.
Verse 23. Who among you will give ear to this? Who will hearken and hear for the time to come? Who gave Jacob for a spoil and Israel to the robber?
Who did that?
Did not the Most High? He against whom we have sinned.
That's right.
For they would not walk in his ways, neither were they obedient unto his law.
There it is.
Therefore, he hath poured upon him the fury of his anger and the strength of battle, and it hath set him on fire round about. Yet he knew not, and it burned him, yet he laid it not to heart.
So you see that there's a lot of niggas out, or Negroes, people, that are mad at the Lord. Yeah, do you know that there's a lot of people mad at the Lord because they say, how can the God that we believe in as a people be so hard on us? Because they don't understand it's our fault first.
That's right.
They do not understand that part. They in that, God, I believe in you. Jesus, I believe in you. I believe in the Holy Ghost. I believe I'm saved, sanctified, and going to heaven. Well, there's your fault right there. Your belief in him is wrong.
And it's a lot of them that they let their children run over them, just like they would.
All the
feel they should be able to
but they claim to know him.
Yeah, but
right.
claim to know him.
They claim to know him.
But your kids even tell you what to do and what not to do.
Exactly. Shalom, y'all. Thank y'all.
What's up, bro?
So
We are in capacity.
so you got our two people audience. So y'all can sit right up front here. So the point is though, there are people out here that are mad at God and blaming him for our condition without understanding. We know what our condition is. And we know the only way up out of this.
right.
And the only way up out of this is for us to be able to turn back to him and say, Lord, we tripped. I understand what my forefathers did. That's why we supposed to pray for them. Pray for the iniquities of your forefathers, because it's what your forefathers did that got you here in this position. And while you here in this position, because I told you I was going to bring you over here and put you among these people, he still said these people wasn't supposed to treat you like they treating you. So the whole thing is, if those that like I say, there's niggas out here that blame the Lord for our condition and not have a clue of why it is.
So some of them don't even blame them. They just think that's the way it is.
You are absolutely right,
Jeff. Brother yesterday down where I work, turned out we used to live by each other. You know what I'm saying? And we naming all kind of people we each other know. And then he was like, you used to be in Vincent, stayed on Geraldine. I said, yeah. He said, oh, he doing life. You know what I'm saying? And he's showing me all these obituaries of all these people that both of us knew that ain't here no more.
Right.
From living them kind of lifestyle.
Right. So see, because see, some people think that we were born to die. Some people think that
I wasn't S, and I never was gonna be S because my mama told me I wasn't gonna be S. So I'm gonna accept not being S. So I'm gonna live a S life. Okay, but the part you said though is about like people accepted that you took me back to like the 40s and 50s where people had that mentality of thinking God is white and there's the white man, but we black and we curse, so this is the way the Lord created us. That's what you hit me on with that one, that this is the Lord, that the way he created us, so we only supposed to live in this condition. Yes, Lord, because we were taught, be a good nigga, and when you die, you go to heaven. That ain't how it goes. So they just all fell into that, I just make it through this life and I know the Lord waiting on me. It's just the way it is.
They ain't putting the work in.
Right, but that mentality is that's just the way it is. I'm supposed to be a nigga. That's the way the Lord created me. And if He have mercy on me, I go see Him in glory. That's all it is. That's the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah, because I got a lot of family members that was killers, and the people in my family think they in heaven looking down on them.
Right. But he was good.
He was good.
He was good. He was good when he was 2.
These 4 people is like,
when he was 2 years old, he was an angel, right? So that's what got him into heaven. Oh yeah, look, I gotta say that I'm thankful, Zeb, you said that. About 3 or 4 weeks ago, I was listening to the radio at work, and some famous author just passed. Don't remember his name, but I recognized it. And as he got older in life, he had a interview show. And at the end of his show, he would ask all of his guests, when you die, what do you think's going to happen to you? You know, asking them, do you believe in God? You believe in hell and stuff like that. You know, they get all their various answers. So right before he died, like his last interview, they say, now we going to ask you that question. You've been asking everybody else that question. Now we're going to ask you. He said, when I die and I stand before God, He going to say, I know you didn't believe in me, but come on in anyway. Boy, I about fell out the truck when I heard that. But that's the foolishness that is taught. But it's like, how you think that you that good to stand before the Lord and say, I know you didn't believe in me, but you was a good enough person, come on into heaven anyway. Just like that, I was like, boy, I'm glad I got to get that one out, boy. Because that's that foolishness that we hear, that pierces our ears all the time. This madness that we hear from these people who say they believe.
God know my heart.
That's right. Let's read on.
It's deceitful above all.
That's right. Exactly.
Stuff you was thinking
Exactly.
Yeah.
that you didn't let manifest, but you know you thought it.
We're in the book of Isaiah, chapter 43 and verse 1. But now thus saith the Most High that created thee, O Jacob, and He that formed thee, O Yisrael, fear not, for I have redeemed thee. I have called thee by thy name, thou art mine. When thou passest through the waters, I will be with thee, and through the rivers, they shall not overflow thee. When thou walkest through the fire, thou shalt not be burned, neither shall the flames kindle upon thee.
So right now with this virus that's going on, that the entire world is getting shutting down. I told the Rib yesterday, they closing all county parks at 8 o'clock tonight. We need to go fishing right now. You know what I'm saying? We need to go fishing right now. Right now, gotta get it in before they say, nigga, you can't come in here no more. I said we need to grab a worm and a pole and go cast that sucker. But the fact is, if we don't do it now, we don't know when we'll be able to go fishing again. So it ain't like sneak fishing.
Supposed to be fishing every day.
That's right. We talking about sitting out recreationally of them shutting this park down. So I'm watching to see, because the city parks are still open. If they ain't shut O'Fallon Park down, if it ain't raining tomorrow, most I will. Catch and release. Catch and release, just to catch a fish. Right. So that's where we are. So what he's saying, that although this stuff is going on, he's reminding us still. I'll be there. I'm with you in the water. I'm with you in the streams. I'm with you in this. I'm with you in that. I'm with you everywhere. Everything that's going on, he said, I got you. Read that one more time. Read that one more time.
Verse 2. When thou passest through the waters, I will be with thee. And through the rivers, they shall not overflow thee. When thou walkest through the fire, thou shalt not be burned, neither shall the flame kindle upon thee. For I am the Most High, thy power, the Holy One of Yisrael, thy Savior.
Who?
Thy Savior.
One more again.
Thy Savior.
Y'all see that? So remember,
who our Savior is. And he said, I got you. Read
Ain't
on.
the vaccine?
No.
I gave Egypt for thy ransom,
Oh.
Ethiopia and Seba for thee. Since thou wast precious in my sight, thou hast been honorable, and I have loved thee. Therefore will I give men for thee, and people for thy life. Fear not, for I am with thee.
That's right.
I will bring thy seed from the east, and gather thee from the west.
Where we at now? We in the West. We in the West. Read on.
I'm from the north side. I don't know.
He say the north side. Nigga, you in North County. You in North County. What you trying?
From the north
From
side.
the north side. North side of Jennings?
I was a teenager when I moved out there. That don't count.
Except from the north side. Okay, north side. Read on.
Verse 6, I will say to the north, give up, and to the south, keep not back. Bring my sons from far, and my daughters from the ends of the earth.
Okay, Zeb. I see you get to make it too.
Yeah,
He got
no
the
doubt.
north side. He got the north side in there, so he gonna bring you out the north side.
Verse
So
7,
Zeb gets saved too from the north side. Go ahead.
verse 7, even every one that is called by my name, for I have created him for my glory.
That's right.
I have formed him, yea, I have made him.
That's right.
Bring forth the blind people that have eyes, and the deaf that have ears. Let all the nations be gathered together, and let the people be assembled. Who among them can declare this, and show us former things? Let them bring forth their witnesses, that they may be justified. Or let them hear and say, it is true. Ye are my witnesses, saith the Most High,
Now live.
and my servant whom I have chosen, that ye may know and believe me,
Come on, son.
and understand that I am he. Before
You got
me
room, brother.
there was no God formed, neither shall there be after me. I, even I, am the Most High, and beside me there is no Savior.
None.
Verse 12, I have declared and have saved, and I have showed when there was no strange God among you. Therefore, ye are my witnesses, saith the Most High, that I am Elohim. Yea, before the day was, I am he,
There you go.
and there is none that can deliver out of my hand. I will work, and who shall let it? Hold on now. Thus saith the Most High, your Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. For your sake I have sent to Babylon, and have brought down all their nobles, and the Chaldeans whose cry is in the ships. I am the Lord, your Holy One, the Creator of Israel, your King. Thus saith the Most High, which maketh a way in the sea, and a path in the mighty waters, which bringeth forth the chariot and horse, the army and the power. They shall lie down together, they shall not rise. They are extinct, they are quenched as tow. Remember ye not the former things, neither consider the things of old. Behold, I will do a new thing. Now it shall spring forth. Shall ye not know it? I will even make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. The beast of the field shall honor me, the dragons and the owls, because I give waters in the wilderness and rivers in the desert, to give drink to my people, my chosen.
His chosen.
This people have I formed for myself. For they shall show forth my praise. But thou hast not called upon me, O Jacob. But thou hast been weary of me, O Israel. Thou hast not brought me the small cattle of thy burnt offering. Neither hast thou honored me with thy sacrifices. I have not caused thee to serve with an offering, nor wearied thee with incense.
So he said, I wasn't bothering you with this. This is what you ain't done. I wasn't bothering you. I didn't put no pressure on you. But you ain't did what you supposed to been doing. Okay? Read on.
Verse 24. Thou hast bought me no sweet cane with money. Neither hast thou filled me with the fat of thy sacrifices. But thou hast made me to serve with thy sin. Thou hast wearied me with thine iniquity.
You see right here, neither hast thou filled me with the fat of thy sacrifices. That ain't showing up to church on Easter Sunday once a year.
Right.
You see him trying to fill them up for the whole year you ain't been there. Read on.
Verse 25. I, even I, am he that blotteth out thy transgressions for mine own sake, and will not remember thy sins.
That's what I want right there.
Put me in remembrance. Let us plead together. Declare thou that thou mayest be justified. Thy first father hath sinned, and thy teachers have transgressed against me. Therefore I have profaned the princes of the sanctuary, and have given Jacob to the curse, and Israel to reproaches.
Yep. Let's keep going.
That
Going into 44.
Yeah, 46 and 47.
You jumping from 43 to 46 and 47?
Isaiah chapter 46, verse 1. Baal boweth down, Nebo stoopeth. Their idols were upon the beasts and upon the cattle. Your carriages were heavy loading. They are a burden to the weary beasts. They stoop, they bow down together. They could not deliver the burden, but themselves are gone into captivity. Hearken unto me, O house of Jacob, and all the remnant of the house of Israel, which are bore by me from the belly, which are carried from the womb. And even to your old age I am he, and even to the hoar hairs will I carry you. I have made, and I will bear, even I will carry, and will deliver you.
So he's telling us that from your birth to the hair on your head turn gray, I'm with you, but you got to stay with him. But he's telling you from you coming out the belly to the end of your time, I'm there with you the whole time. Read on.
Verse 5. To whom will ye liken me, and make me equal, and compare me that we may be like?
That's what people. That's where people say, "Aha." That he the same person. See that right there? That's where these Muslims say that that's who Aha is. Okay, he say, to whom will you liken me? That's who they liken him to. And me equal. They say that he's equal. And compare me that we may be like in their eyes. The God of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, and his only begotten. That's where it stopped. I got to stop it there. The God of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, that's who they say he is. That's who they believe in. That's who they say that's the God we worship. When we say we worship the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, they be like, yeah, I worship him too. But you forgot one thing. You stop it right there. And I continue on with his son and the Holy Spirit. And that's where y'all stop it at. But that God that they believe in, that false God, there he is right there that they say that's who he is. He the same. Read on.
Also, them thinking that Joseph being the father. comparing him to any other man, any average man, and saying he was born like all kings of the earth, which he was not.
Mm-hmm.
He was born like Adam.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why he's always compared to Adam, and not any other man on earth.
The first
or
Adam
any
and the
other
second
king,
Adam.
except for David. And that's only because of bloodline,
Bloodline.
and inheritance
That's right.
only.
Read on.
Verse 6. They lavish gold out of the bag, and weigh silver in the balance, and hire a goldsmith, and he maketh it a god. They fall down, yeah, they worship. They bear him upon the shoulder. They carry him and set him in his place. And he standeth. From his place shall he not remove. Yeah, one shall cry unto him. Yeah, he cannot answer, nor save him out of his trouble.
So y'all see, like when y'all watching TV and they're showing like Mexico and all these other countries, Brazilian countries, all these other countries that follow the Catholic doctrine mixed in with sangria and all that kind of stuff, and how they worship and honor Mary. With what we just read there, when you see them out there in them streets and them parades, what are they doing? They got their God on their shoulder that they're parading through the streets. It's a image, statue, flowers all over it, you know, and all that kind of stuff. And as they walk around, people throwing stuff on and all that stuff. But that's what they worship, that they're bearing on their shoulders. Because if they was knowing this, that wouldn't exist. That's their belief. So we see what we see in the scriptures. We got physical evidence of these things still being done today that we see. These people walking around with a statue of Mary and parading her through the streets. Read on.
Verse 8. Remember this, and show yourselves men. Bring it again to mind, O ye transgressors. Remember the former things of old, for I am God.
That's right.
And there is none else.
None else.
I am God, and there is none like me.
None like him.
Declaring the end from the beginning, and from ancient times, the things that are not yet done. Saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure.
He said, I declare the end from the beginning. Read on.
Verse 11. Calling a ravenous bird from the east, the man that executed my counsel from a far country. Yeah, I have spoken it. I will also bring it to pass. I have purposed it. I will also do it. Hearken unto me, ye stout-hearted, that are far from righteousness.
Ooh, he said far. So a stout heart is a stubborn heart. And he said that they are far from righteousness. Keep going.
I bring near my righteousness. It shall not be far off, and my salvation shall not tarry. For I will place salvation in Zion for Israel, my glory. Keep going.
One more for you.
Chapter 47. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne.
There is no throne. He say, so look, the virgin daughter that he's talking to, sit on the ground. Ain't no throne for you. And he said Babylon. So we know Babylon ain't good. So all these people here that we see in Babylon, these daughters, well, they ain't virgins, the ones that are parading around all on TV that we see. But the fact of it is, he said, ain't no throne for you. Sit your tail on the ground.
In the dust.
Read on.
Verse 1 again. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans. For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Take the millstones and grind meal. Uncover thy locks. Make bare the leg. Uncover the thigh. Pass over the river.
Who got locks? Read on.
Verse 3. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered. Yeah, thy shame shall be seen.
Skeezer.
I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. As for our Redeemer, the Lord of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Israel.
That's right.
Sit thou silent, and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans. For thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms.
Sound like that whore that sit on many waters, right?
Sound like that to me.
Verse 6. I was wroth with my people. I have polluted my inheritance and given them into thine hand. Thou didst show them no mercy.
None.
Upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke. And thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever.
A skeezer forever.
So that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it.
See, so it didn't remember the latter end. So that's why if we was in the book like we supposed to be as a people, we would know the latter end. We just read where he said, I called down the end from the beginning. So if you don't know your latter end, you're not doing what you're supposed to do.
Right.
You're not doing what you're supposed to do. Keep reading.
Verse 8. Therefore hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, that says in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children.
So right there we just had two incidences of people that said that I am, meaning that I ain't afraid of this coronavirus. You got that white boy down in Florida that said, hey, if I get it, I get it. He got it. There's some white girl here in St. Louis, had her little video talking about, I'm not afraid of coronavirus. I feel like there's an elephant on my chest as she laid in her hospital bed. Tempting the Lord. Read on.
But see, it's also talking about nations, individuals.
Right.
Talking about these unruly nations who have trusted in their riches and their power that nothing will affect them. Who lives carelessly and in their pleasures daily?
They
Now,
did.
you see white folks just walking the dog.
Shooby-doo, shooby-doo, shooby-doo-be-doo-be-doo.
Through frolicking through the tulips. They live in pleasurably and in their comfort. Like it won't touch me because I'm rich. But see what's happening now, they're in a panic state because it all backfired and boomerang. So now they running scared. Because now the riches of the rich are being affected. So if the rich is being affected and the fame and fortunate are being affected, guess what?
Right.
That means it's right at their back door.
Right.
So now they're in panic mode.
Right.
I won't leave here.
But this is only the beginning. This ain't nothing. This is just a test run.
We can still get food.
Right.
Yeah, this
We
is
can
just a
still go
test
get
run.
food. I'm stopping
But
at
it's
the store
showing
this
you.
evening.
It's showing you the
liquor
sign of the
store.
time and the conditioning phase
It is
of what's
essential.
going on. It's a conditioning phase.
Hey, you see there's some, I can't think of, some preacher, see the female white, Gentile woman. She stood in front of her congregation and had all them repeating like her. Looked out to her. She said, I'm saying this to all the African Americans. She said, I need y'all to repeat. We apologize for our oppression.
Yeah, you.
She did the whole thing and had them all repeating after her, talking about, how they did us.
Yeah,
I said, look at them. I said, they panicked.
Right.
They've been knowing who we are.
Right.
And now,
Right. Now that it's time. Right. Now that it's time, we sorry. We sorry.
And see, and that's only from their own mistake.
Yep.
Because it's a man-made disease, so it's gotten out of control. But this is what's to be expected by rogue people who says under a covenant, we're going to do it this way, but then got their fingers crossed behind their backs
Right.
and saying we're going to pull a switcheroo
Right.
when it's our time.
Right. Right. Like Daniel said.
Then,
Same
okay,
smile.
You
two
want to
faces.
roll, you want to play the rogue nation, then you got what's coming to a rogue nation.
Yep.
Just like individuals, like brother was saying, as individuals it happens, but also as nations it happens. So a lot of these powerful nations, because it's concentrated in the European nations. But
Yep.
this is only a beginning. This is just a foreshadowing of what's to come and just conditioning phase. How quick can we shut the whole world down? How quick can we get people in line to do what we say? But see, there's a problem. There's a glitch going on because Negroes ain't staying in the house. So
Robbery still must go on.
Creating issues at the storefronts and all these other places, essential places, you know, of business. It's going to create chaos and panic at these essential places of work that they're going to have to call in security.
I can't even keep the playground down at the Cochran secure. We done taped it off 3 days this week, and every day we come in, the kids done rip the tape off. They done rip the tape off. Like we ain't did nothing. We got a document when we do it now, just to cover our own ass.
Right. You go down there, they wearing the tape.
Yeah, they got the tape around the belts and shit.
Making fringes out of it.
You know what, boy?
Israel will take it to a whole nother level, but you know,
Police take fringes.
these are only just a foreshadowing, man, and this is just the beginning of things if it's even that.
Right.
But you see how much it has created. Just started a few months ago. Within a matter of months, there have been orders and things that have been laid down telling people to stay in the house. You can't go here. Only so many people can congregate in this location.
You know they put that stay-at-home order. They started that yesterday.
In Alton, they gave the police their individual authority to stop people and determine if they breaking their stay-at-home ordinance or not.
Right.
So who you think gonna be breaking it the most?
You know. Just like they try to put out the statistics according to zip codes.
Yeah.
Guess who they say is the most concentrated area?
My zip code on there.
The north
My
side.
zip code on there.
Hayden Circle.
Israel, where Israel is, they
Hayden's
think that's the
rectangle.
most
My zip code is dark blue. I said, look at that.
Hey y'all, this ain't funny, but it
You
is.
know,
Could y'all please pray for me? Because I'm trying to persuade my rib to let me get another dog.
Another dog.
Yeah, another dog.
You know, another dog. You know,
you want us to pray over.
no, but listen what I'm saying. No, listen what I'm saying. It's the fact because I need help is what I'm saying. I need help.
That's your household, brother. That's an individual issue.
Right, I'm saying though.
Hey,
You need to put your foot down.
really though, that's what it sounds like.
Hey, don't have your wife sending notes to my house now.
We ain't saying nothing. We ain't getting in that. That sounds like something we need to handle.
I'm trying, but that's why I asked.
Just keep trying.
That's why I asked for prayer, because I'm trying.
Hey, we got a couple of thousands around here. Go on in one.
All right, now where we at?
Verse 9. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood. They shall come upon thee in their perfection for the multitude of thy sorceries, and for the great abundance of thine enchantments. For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee. And thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else besides me. Therefore shall evil come upon thee. Thou shalt not know from whence it riseth. And mischief shall fall upon thee. Thou shalt not be able to put it off. And desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. Stand now with thine enchantments, and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be thou shalt be able to profit, if so be thou mayest prevail. Thou art weary in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly, how you pronounce that, prognosticators?
Prognosticate, yep.
Prognosticators, stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. Behold, they shall be as stubble, the fire shall burn them. They shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. They shall not be a coal to warm at, nor fire to sit before it. Thus shall they be unto thee with whom thou hast labored, even thy merchants from thy youth. They shall wander every one to his quarter. None shall save thee.
Okay, so from this, because we're going now to Jeremiah 10 all and 12 all, but in this 12 through 15, what he just read, now the Lord is saying here in 15, stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be thou shalt be able to profit. If so, thou mayest prevail. So we had flipped back where we was last week in chapter 40, verse 25, the Most High says, to whom then will ye liken me? Shall I be equal, saith the Holy One. Lift up your eyes and behold who hath created these things, and bring out their hosts by number. He calleth them all by names by the greatness of his might. For he is strong in power, not one faileth. So when he's saying, where he's telling them, like when he said, produce your cause, show yourself to me, do something to make me scared, that was the answer here. What we just read, you ain't gonna do it. You can't do it. That's what we just went through. You can't do this.
But he tell them, he said, don't come back to me now.
Right. Trust.
Do what you do.
Exactly. Trust in those idols you've been trusted in since your youth. So, Jeremiah chapter 10. We're going to read that whole chapter in chapter 12.
And then what?
Jeremiah 10, 1.
Then we're going to get into Matthew 24 off. That'll be on you, Matthew 24 off.
That's mine, I love it. That's one of my favorites.
Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 1. Hear ye the word which the Most High speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Most High, learn not the way of the heathen.
That's right.
And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at it.
So the Lord, so right there in verse 2, he says, learn not the way of the heathens, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. So, you see weather events, UFOs, lights in the sky, all these kind of things that people are catching on their phones and stuff. I ain't talking about Bigfoot. I'm talking about what's in the heavens and things that are being shown. That it's them that's scared. You're seeing different cloud formations. You're seeing all these things that the Lord is showing, that we are supposed to look at these things and recognize him and be happy for it. We not to be scared, because we know that that's our God. And these are his ordinances that he put down. So when he move, we move, just like that. We know exactly who he is and what he doing, and all we do is observe and let him do his thing. But it's these other people who are heathens. They're the ones that's afraid of what's going on. So that's why when people look at us and like, why are you so happy? I serve a God that make me happy. I serve a God that I ain't scared. I serve a God that gave me his word. I serve a God that gave me instructions. I serve a God that told me what to do. And I serve a God that said he gonna do something, and I'm watching him do it. You need to learn who my God is.
That's right.
And be like me and not be scared. Lean on your own understanding, or you get this instruction. That's on you still. Okay? But we know how we move. Read on.
Verse 3. For the customs of the people are vain. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the worker, with the axe. They deck it with silver and with gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not. They are upright as the palm tree, but speak not. Their needs They needs must be born.
They must needs. They must needs be born.
They must needs be born, thank you. Because they cannot go. Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil, neither also is it in them to do good. So it's saying, you know, don't fear them, because it's not the power of the idol. It can do nothing. It has no breath. It can't move. It can't cause any harm or damage. However, the ritual behind worshiping it is what will damage your soul.
That's right.
To everlasting damnation. Verse 6. For as much as there is none like unto thee, O Master, thou art great, and thy name is great in might. Who would not fear thee, O King of nations? For to thee doth it appertain. For as much as among all the wise men of the nations, and in all their kingdoms, there is none like unto thee.
So all the wise men of the nations and the kingdoms, even if you put them all together and combine them into one, they still ain't got nothing on the most. Read on.
For to thee doth it appertain. For as much as all wise men among the nations, in all their kingdoms, there is none like unto thee. But they are altogether brutish and foolish. The stock is a doctrine of vanities. And it's going into the doctrines of the customs of the people. So it's talking about the doctrines, the rituals and things and the practices that go along with this worshiping of the idol. Because in the beginning you see, it's not the idol that has power, it's the power that people give unto it.
That's right.
And it can't do anything. It can't save, it can't deliver, it can do nothing for you. Verse 9. Silver spread into plates is brought from Tarshish, and gold from Euphrates, the work of the workmen, and of the hands of the founder. Blue and purple is their clothing. They are all the work of cunning men. But the Most High is the true Elohim. He is the living Elohim, and an everlasting King. At his wrath the earth shall tremble, and the nations shall not be able to abide his indignation. Thus shall you say unto them, the gods that have not made the heavens and the earth, even they shall perish from the earth and from under these heavens. He hath made the earth by his power. He hath established the world by his wisdom, and hath stretched out the heavens by his discretion. When he uttered his voice, there is a multitude of waters in the heavens. And he causeth the vapors to ascend from the ends of the earth. He maketh lightnings with rain, and bringeth forth the wind out of his treasure. Every man is brutish in his knowledge. Every founder is confounded by the graven image. For his molten image is falsehood, and there is no breath in them. They are vanity and the work of errors. In the time of their visitation they shall perish. The portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the form of all things, and Israel is the rod of his inheritance. The Most High of hosts is his name.
That's right.
Gather up the wares out of the land, O inhabitants of the fortress. For thus saith the Most High, behold, I will sling out the inhabitants of the land at this once, and will distress them, that they may find it so. Woe is me for my hurt, for my wound is grievous. But I said, truly, this is a grief, and I must bear it.
Because I want to go and finish on, but do we see here that this is the God of love that the world say it is? Or is this a God of justice and righteousness that's punishing disobedient people? Because he putting it down here. He say, I'm going to do this, 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 I'm going to do this. But other people say, oh no, Jesus is love. He don't do no stuff like that. But all we seeing here is anger and destruction and punishment for disobedient people. Read on.
Remind me of that song you wanted me to play.
Father, help your children.
And then you gonna check, before you take it to me, you say, I'm on one again.
Go ahead, brother. Read.
Man, I done lost my place.
You in should be 19.
Verse 20. My tabernacle is spoiled, and all my cords are broken. My children are gone forth of me, and they are not. There is none to stretch forth my tent anymore, and to set up my curtains. For the pastors are become brutish, and have not sought the Most High.
The church is evolving. Keep going.
Therefore, they shall not prosper, and all their flocks shall be scattered. Behold, the noise of the brute is come, and a great commotion out of the north country, to make the cities of Judah desolate, and a den of dragons. O Master, I know that the way of man is not in himself. It is not in man that walketh to direct his steps. O Master, correct me, but with judgment, not in thine anger, lest thou bring me to nothing. Pour out thy fury upon the heathen that know thee not, and upon the families that call not on thy name.
That's right.
For they have eaten up Jacob, and devoured him, and consumed him, and have made his habitation desolate.
Whew. Chapter 12.
Jeremiah, chapter 12.
On that verse 24 there, when he said, "Oh Lord, correct me, but with judgment."
Right.
That would you say that is to say, when he said, "Not with thine anger, that shall bring me nothing."
Right.
Say, if you go just go back, we say, if you can do it with your anger, you can just wipe us all out right there.
Right.
But you're doing it with judgment. That's to say, you already gave us the instruction.
Right.
You see, you corrected with judgment. That's
Right.
You already know what time it is.
Right.
So I give it to you, it's because you deserve it, because that's you being disobedient.
Right. Because it starts out by him saying, he said, "Oh Lord, correct me." So he's talking to the Lord.
Right.
I need help. I know I'm wrong. I know I'm foul. I know the right way.
My flesh is
And I can't get it straight. He said, but help. What he's asking as a child to the Father, teach me and help me and correct me, but not with thine anger.
It's done in righteousness.
Right.
But see, in judgment, like you correct your son, who you love.
exactly.
Right.
You correct him in judgment, not in anger, because in anger you might kill him. But in judgment, you ain't gonna give it all. You know, you ain't gonna beat him like a nigga that stole something from your mama. You gonna beat him out of love and correct him so that he knows not to continue this bad behavior.
That's right.
Train up a child in the way they should go, and they'll find their way home, even in the bad moments.
Right.
You know, they're gonna make bad decisions, but they know where to cut off that bad decision making.
Right.
They know, oh, this a line I just can't cross. I ain't committing no murder.
Right.
I ain't rolling with. I might steal a little here and there. But nigga, I ain't robbing no bank, I ain't committing no murders, I ain't, that's stepping way beyond.
I might steal a candy bar from Walgreens, but I ain't
know
doing
what
no
I'm
pistols.
At the most, I want to keep my crimes at a misdemeanor.
A misdemeanor.
And not a felony.
Right.
You got discernment, because I had a conversation yesterday where in a lot of instances I was the one talking about, don't let me out the car.
Right.
I'm not going with y'all on this one.
Right.
I'm cool.
Right.
And then something bad happened.
Right.
Exactly.
Yep.
You know,
That's it.
so you know there's that proverbial line you just ain't gonna cross.
Right.
So in likewise, the Most High said, you know, when he corrects us in measures, He corrects us through judgment. Now I'm gonna bust your butt. But you're going to live and you're going to understand the errors of your ways and correct it the next time you're faced with this situation.
Right.
You'll know which way to go.
You'll
know what decision to make.
Right. If he
Now,
corrects
if
you in his
I
anger,
correct you in anger,
you're gonna have some whelps.
I might wipe y'all like he had to do a generation in the wilderness. That was out of anger. Because these Negroes had stepped way beyond that proverbial.
Urge out the rebels.
Right.
They done went way beyond their means.
Yeah.
And he had to deal with it.
Yep.
Otherwise, it's just like, everybody gonna come at the Most High and play them short. No. They gonna see how I get down. And the next one try that, like, no, I done saw how he gets down.
Right.
I ain't trying that.
That's right.
And that's because the children perceive everything we make.
Yes.
We do. Every move we make.
Yes, they
we
watch.
might think they don't see. They see everything we do.
Everything.
And they learning from our behavior.
Right. And that's how you know, because they remind you.
What you doing, whether it's good or bad.
Right.
They won't say nothing, but they're watching. They are very attentive.
Yep.
So that's why he says, you have them at their most vulnerable state. That's train them now.
Right.
If you into animal breeding and everything, the best time to train a vicious dog is when they're at a puppy stage.
That's right.
To get them to conform to the temperament you desire. And then as they're grown, they'll continue in their behavior, and then they'll breed that same kind of temperament. You understand? So like manner, a fruit is known by the tree that bears it.
That's right.
So you produce fruit according to your makeup, so that it brings more good fruit that represents your name in a righteous manner in the streets, whether you go long gone or not.
Right. And that fruit is.
You don't have to worry about that fruit out there, because you know it ain't gonna be no bad reports on that fruit coming back to you.
Right.
What the hell is wrong with your children, man?
Right.
They out here going cuckoo for cocoa.
Right. Right.
So in like manner, that's what he's talking about. Correct me in judgment and not in thine anger. Because in his anger, we see how he gets down in his anger.
Right.
We don't want that.
Nope. Not at all. Read on.
You in Jeremiah 12.
12 in verse 1. Jeremiah chapter 12, verse 1. Righteous art thou, Elohim, when I plead with thee, yet let me talk with thee of thy judgments. Wherefore doth the way of the wicked prosper? Wherefore are all they happy that deal very treacherously? And we seen that.
Right.
We done seen the ballers kicking it, being able to go to all the Super Bowls, getting
Popping bottles.
all that. Like, dang, man, this cat been balling and just selling death and destruction. Or this cat's been a murderer, just walking around, just killing everybody, and ain't nobody. Just like the Malcolm X, who killed Malcolm X documentary. The cat who actually did it had been walking around in the hood forever. Was even appearing in a politician's campaign video. But everybody in the hood knew this Negro ain't did it. Nobody said nothing. And we all bear witness to it, and we wonder, man, I ain't got nothing, I'm suffering. But you got faith.
Right.
You got more than you can imagine.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's why the Most High say, I know thy poverty and tribulation.
Yes, but
I
thou
know
art
what
rich.
you're dealing with. I know what your struggle is. I made you. I know what you're dealing with.
Yes.
I got eyes. I see that.
Yes, Lord. Yes.
But you have something greater in you than whatever it is materialistic you lusting for. Because what's in you is going to bring you a material that no man can mess with. No thief can take. No moth can corrupt.
That's right.
None of that. Seek the kingdom first.
That's right.
And everything else shall be added thereunto
Right.
you.
There you go. There you go.
So it says, don't worry about the wicked when we see them prosper. Verse 2. Thou hast planted them. Yeah, they have taken root. They got children. They grow. Yeah, they bring forth fruit. Thou art near in their mouth, and are far from their reigns. Meaning you got a lot of them that believe, say, hey man, I believe in God.
Wearing crosses.
I believe in Jesus.
Wearing crosses.
I believe in Caesar Borgia.
Wearing crosses.
The Jesus pieces.
Yep.
Walk with Jesus song. Oh, he's in their mouth, but their hearts are far from him.
Sure is. That's why I call
Look at some of the people that's in the church houses 24/7 that say they saved as be some of the most wicked people you can ever encounter.
That's why I call him Kanye Antichrist. That's my name for him. Kanye Antichrist.
Verse 3. But thou, O Most High, knowest me. Thou hast seen me, and tried mine heart toward thee. Pull them out like sheep for the slaughter, and prepare them for the day of the slaughter. How long shall the land mourn? Don't we ask this in our community? Man, how long these Negroes gonna run amok in our community?
We gotta stop killing each other.
Mayhem and chaos.
We gotta stop killing each other.
And the herbs of every field wither. For the wickedness of them that dwell therein, the beasts are consumed, and the birds, because they said, he shall not see our last end. If thou hast run with the footmen, and they have wearied thee, then how canst thou contend with horses? You can't bang with some Negro that just got earthly knowledge. How you gonna bang with spiritual knowledge?
Right. If you can't.
Stay in your place, homie.
Right.
And if in the land of peace, when thou trusted, they wearied thee, then how wilt thou do in the swelling of joy? We at peacetime. And you got cats losing their damn minds over doctrines of devils. So what you gonna do when it really hits the fan here? Coronavirus is just the beginning. What you gonna do when it really gets rough? When the paper money system, the cashless society is implemented, when you can't go to the stores, you can't buy, sell, or trade without that money. What you gonna do then?
Because it's just a matter of time before they blame
It's
the
just a
money.
matter of time.
They already started blaming it. Yeah, they already started. They say,
It's just a matter of time. They say
Please play with your
money is
card.
now transferring viruses.
they even talking about putting your money in the microwave.
Crazy.
Y'all should get rid of that filthy money
Give it to
and
me.
just send it right on over here. I'll get rid of it for you quickly.
I'll transfer it.
From your hand to mine.
Really though. Especially right now. Verse 6. For even thy brother and the house of thy father, even they have dealt treacherously with thee, to the Jew first. Because we live amongst each other.
Right.
So who you think we get played by?
Our
Who you
people.
think our communities are being sold out by? Black older men.
Yep.
We ain't got to worry about no Harvey Weinstein running down our hood, doing a drive-by,
Ravishing
or
our
snatching
women.
our children. They're not coming through the hood like that. It's little Bobo, Willie, and Skilly. We got to watch out for them. Let me finish this 6. For even thy brethren, the house of thy father, even they have dealt treacherously with thee. Yea, they have called a multitude after thee. Believe them not, though they speak fair words unto thee. I have forsaken mine house. I have left mine heritage. I have given the dearly beloved of my soul into the hand of their enemies, of her enemies. Mine heritage is unto me as a lion in the forest, and cried out against me. Therefore have I hated it. My inheritance is unto me as a speckled bird. The birds round about are against her. Come ye, assemble all the beasts of the field, come to devour. Because we are a different species from all the other birds around these other nations.
Mm-hmm.
We're a different kind of species.
Mm-hmm.
We look the same, we got the same makeup, but we have a whole different being.
To live right next door to each other and still do things differently. Still do things differently. Can I run this second witness about
Yes,
something
sir.
you just
Yes,
left?
sir. Yes, sir.
I want to run this Isaiah 3. I'm going to start at 1 down to 5. It says, for behold, the Lord of hosts, doth take away from Jerusalem and from Judah the stay and the staff, the whole stay of bread, and the whole stay of water, the mighty man and the man of war, the judge and the prophet, and the prudent and the ancient, the captain of 50 and the honorable man, and the counselor and the cunning artificer, and the eloquent orator. I will give children to be their princes, and babes shall rule over them, and the people shall be oppressed, every one by another, and every one by his neighbor. The child shall behave himself proudly against the ancient, and the base against the honorable. So that's a condition of what the Lord say we would do. Our people are our own oppressors. Our people are the reasons why we carry guns. You understand what I'm saying? Our people are the reason why we have to move like we move, because they're not our people that we can trust. You got to watch your move everywhere you go. You just don't get to walk out your house and go on your destination and not be wary of what's going on. Because we learn, brothers coming up in the streets, we learn to watch out for cats. Watch that nigga, man. Watch him. Oh, see,
like
here he come. Like I told you. You know what I'm saying?
Two cats who ran up on you at the gas station.
Yep. We just telling that story last
You knew
week.
to watch them.
I knew to watch for them, and they still tried to come after me. You know what I'm saying? But I was prepared for them because of the Most High. See, that's the point. Why do I need to carry a gun and go get gas? Why do I need to carry a gun to go to work?
To protect me against my own people.
My own people. I left, now that we work from home and my work vehicle's in front of my house right now, I left for work the other day to, like you at the door at the last minute saying goodbye to each other, and I was saying goodbye, and when we walked to the truck, she's like, you want your pistol, baby? You got your pistol? It was just like forgetting a cup of coffee that I made. You know what I'm saying?
I work in the concrete.
Right, you forgot your coffee. You forgot your pistol. You see what I'm saying?
That's just a part of my outfit, player.
So it's just how it is. We got them, but what do? We pray we never have to use them.
That ain't my first line of defense.
That's right. We pray we never have to use them. Bottom line, that's
I
it.
will protect you from certain
That's
situations.
it.
Not to go off board, but I just had a situation about 2.5 weeks ago. A cat ran up on my car.
I remember you told me that. Yeah, that was.
Ran up on
We all went through something that
I
day.
had my thumper right at his forehead. And said, nigga, I'll blow your brains out. He looked like, and just backed up. But this dude ran straight at my door. I had my daughter and my son in the car.
There you go.
Just picked her up from work. At the stoplight.
One of them had threatened my coworker down in the Cochran that same day. If you don't get off 8th Street, I'm gonna shoot you in your face.
Right, it's dangerous out here.
Right.
So, the Most High says, don't not have your sword.
Right, exactly.
Peter kept his sword.
We warriors. We carry swords.
32-26, baby.
Yes, sir.
I know it.
So,
I got both of them.
we just pray that we don't have to use
That's it. That's the
Because
prayer.
what happened was,
No matter how big it is or how many bullets you got, you pray you never have to fire one of them.
but the Most High was, and all I was saying was that the door was unlocked, and when dude went to flap my door, and I went to open it so I can blow his noodles out,
Without messing up your window.
doors automatically locked. They all locked.
See? And dude,
So at that point, dude looked up, saw the barrel at his forehead and backed off, started walking backward, and almost got hit by a car because he just started walking. He was on that stuff.
Right.
So he started walking aimlessly through the streets. However, that demon was on them, man, I was gonna have to put that demon to sleep. But all praises to the Most High, I didn't have to.
That's right. That's right.
All praises to the
That's
Most
right.
High and His only begotten Son, I didn't have to.
Like you
Nor
said,
did my children had to bear witness.
Sit at and see something like that, right? And like you said, them doors automatically lock. Who you think pressed the button? Read on.
Verse 10. We're in Jeremiah chapter 12, verse 10. Many pastors have destroyed my vineyard. They have trodden my portion underfoot. They have made my pleasant portion a desolate wilderness. Many people have went behind that Shucky Ducky cat that died. How's a ducky?
He said, shut up.
The towers are dead.
Many people have been led astray by a lot of these pastors in the church houses, as well as Israelites that are defrauding their brethren
Making
by the word
merchandise.
to get their own, to feed their bellies.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to work.
Many people have been led astray about the pastors of our people. How you think you got so many religions? How do you have so many doctrines of the Hebrew Israelites?
Because I did it my way.
Verse 11. They have made it desolate, and being desolate, it mourneth unto me. The whole land is made desolate, because no man layeth to heart. The spoilers are come upon all high places in the wilderness. For the sword of the Most High shall devour from the one end of the land, even to the other end of the land. No flesh shall have peace.
So that means, like we always say about no location salvation, the Lord say, why are we here or on this planet? There's no place we can't go and live in the side of a volcano and get away from this world. He said, I'm going to stretch this out from one end of the land all the way to the other. Wherever you think you can run and hide from me, I'm right behind you. Matter of fact, I'm before you get there.
That's right.
I'm waiting on you. When you think you done escape me, I'm going to be right there. So, read on.
Verse 13. They have sown wheat, but shall reap thorns. They have put themselves to pain, but shall not profit. And they shall be ashamed of your revenues because of the fierce anger of the Most High. Thus saith the Most High against all mine evil neighbors that touch the inheritance which I have caused my people Israel to inherit. Behold, I will pluck them out of their land, and pluck out the house of Judah from among them. And it shall come to pass, after that I have plucked them out, I will return, and have compassion on them, and will bring them again, every man to his heritage, and every man to his land. And it shall come to pass, if they will diligently learn the ways of my people.
Can you read that one more time?
Verse 16. And it shall come to pass, if they will diligently.
I'm sorry.
There it is. I got it.
All right.
Stammering lips shall I speak to this people. Take what you heard. That's how linguistics.
You can't even get that right.
See, look, his father was down here, and we still kicking it.
Mama D be out there having a field day. She was
Okay.
read that again. Read
Verse
that
16.
again. Mama D be saying, read that again.
He meant try it again.
Educator be on us, boy. And it shall come to pass, if they will diligently learn the ways of my people, to swear by my name, The Most High liveth, as they taught my people to swear by Baal. Then shall they be built in the midst of my people. But they
hold on. So it's not just confessing with your mouth, even for the Gentiles, confessing with your mouth that Jesus Christ is Lord and Savior. That they also got to acknowledge that we are Israel.
Right.
That's part of the deal.
Ain't that what they're saying right here?
That's part of the deal.
And learn their ways.
They have to know, acknowledge who we are, because in that acknowledgement, then you understand the
Commandments, statutes, judgments, laws.
well, not only that, the order, the natural order of things.
Right.
You can't repent if you don't know what you're repenting from.
Right. But you have to acknowledge the natural order of things. The Most High, Christ, man, woman, child, Jew, Gentile.
Right.
You have to acknowledge, you have to know that I don't care how much knowledge you obtain, you can never exalt yourself above Israel. You will never outdo the natural branch.
Right.
That's why he says bolt not.
Right.
Because you could be chopped right on off.
There you go. Sure can.
17.
17. Thank you, brother. But if they will not obey, I will utterly pluck up and destroy that nation, saith the Most High.
Yes, sir. All right, Matthew 24, all. We're going to do Luke 21 and 36. We have Mark 1, 1 through 3. John chapter 1, all. Exodus 15 and 25. Deuteronomy 28, 58 through 61. And then all we have is Maccabees.
Matthew 24.
Matthew 24 would be Luke 21 and 36. Yep.
Say John what?
Chapter 1, all.
That's out to Mark.
Yep. Exodus 15, verse 25.
So John and Exodus.
Yep. Exodus 15, verse 25. Deuteronomy 28.
Well, I'll go to that. So
Yeah.
when we get there.
Because after the Deuteronomy, we got one more script and we're done.
Okay. Now John 1.
Yeah, one all.
All right, we'll begin our reading here in the book of Matthew, chapter 24, and we'll start our reading in verse 1. Let's get some understanding, family. Matthew 24 and 1. And Yeshua went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him for to show him the buildings of the temple. And Yeshua said unto them, See ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another, that shall not be thrown down. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the signs of thy coming, and of the end of the world? And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you.
So, yep.
And Yeshua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you.
So with that instruction, how can no man deceive you?
Got to be up on your game.
That's right. Your 2 Timothy 2, 15, 16, and 17. Study to show thyself
or you gonna
approved.
be deceived.
Right. If you know this word for yourself, you know if a nigga come and tell you something different.
That's right.
So he instructed us right up front. They asked him the question, Lord, what should you do? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be, Lord? What's it gonna be? First, take heed that no man deceive you. And if you get deceived, that's on you.
That's totally on you. Like we just been talking. Look at how many people got deceived by that dude called him the Uncomforter.
They wanted that.
Right? That's on them. They knew that if they in the word and they know that this nigga done said something that ain't written here, they didn't take heed. They were deceived. And that's on them.
We love it.
That's on them.
We want it.
And
That's
then
right.
you still got these other brothers out here deceived, thinking that this character is the third in command.
Right. But see, I've been meaning to say this for so long that I almost had to put it in my phone as a reminder to say during class.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing I can say about our class, our ministry, that all that we do, that when we say it's without excuse, there's no way that anybody on this planet can say anything, because not only do we read the written word, we post the word. The world can see the words that we are reading. So we all have whatever book we in, we just show today, but we as a class, we post the word. I don't care if Donald Trump watched this class. He can say that, well, them niggas ain't lying. See what I'm saying? The world sees, so we're not held accountable for teaching wrong, because the whole world could see what we saying. So that if they could right here say, wait a minute, y'all misinterpreted that script. See what I'm saying? We got people that also, for the brothers and sisters that are in our live chat, that are studied up, if y'all see us miss something, because I see people ask questions that we don't get to answer. But we got brothers and sisters out there that have been doing it as well. I want to say that. But y'all keep our backs and watch out for us as well, because we don't like to have any unanswered questions.
That's right.
Okay? That any brothers and sisters out there, that y'all see somebody ask a question, help us out and get them answers as well for us. And like I say, because the whole thing about it is we post the word. There is no excuse for this.
That's right.
Okay? And we read it verbatim, even though we make mistakes in our words, but we get it out there. All right? That's what I wanted to say to the world. And thank all my brothers and sisters and praise his holy name and his son's name on this day. Read on.
Verse 5. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am a Mashiach, and shall and shall deceive many. Let me read that 5 over. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am a Mashiach, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled.
So didn't we just read in that Jeremiah 10 that the heathens are the ones that are dismayed at the signs of heaven? But don't you be dismayed? Read that one more time, Ariel.
And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled.
See that ye be not troubled. You gonna see coronavirus. See that you be not troubled. Y'all see that? See that you be not troubled. Read on.
For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet.
The end is not yet.
For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows.
So these things have already started before we were born. It means that we were born in the beginning of sorrows. Okay? So these things already started happening before we were born. There's not the first earthquake that ever happened since I've been born. There's earthquakes before I was born. There's been wars and rumors of wars and nations rising against nation. That done already started. So that just shows you where the time we're in. Read on.
Verse 9. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake.
So this is a time that we ain't made it to yet.
even though they killing us in the street, we're not being killed for his name's sake.
Right.
There's a difference. There's a difference. Read on.
Verse 10. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. And many false prophets shall rise, and shall deceive many. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold.
So that love of many, of many waxing cold with this iniquity that's abounding out here, it's like why I pull up in traffic and I look at the next brother. Hey brother, how you doing? See what I'm saying? I'm breaking that meanness.
Yeah.
I'm breaking that mean mug, because you know in St. Louis, we got it bad. Nigga, what you looking at? We got it bad. You look at a nigga 2 seconds too long, it's some static. So I greet him with a shalom up front. Hey brother, how you doing? Because we're told to live peaceably with all men.
That's right.
If it's possible.
Right.
If it's possible. So then, if I can break down at first, how can you be mad at a man that said hi to you? You see what I'm saying? What he already coming to you in peace. All right? Okay.
Well, so Artemis said, what part of the Bible is the Apocrypha? The Apocrypha used to be in the Bible.
In the 1611.
It's still in the 1611 edition.
Zeb, run yours
Yeah.
to the camera.
There's some script, you can order them. You can order them now with the Apocrypha attached. I have a family Bible that existed in my family for years, and it has the Apocrypha attached to it. It's the one original, early.
To answer your question, I'm sorry.
It's not an original King James Bible, but
I
it's
didn't
an
mean
old
to-
family Bible we had in our family for a long time, and it has the Apocrypha attached to it.
So just to answer the question, you see my Bible, and I got the Apocrypha in the middle of it. The Apocrypha is between the last book of Malachi and the first book of the New Testament, Matthew. In between there, where my book is, there's 14 books. That's the Apocrypha. The King James 1611, what he is showing you, has the Apocrypha in it. So you can buy the Apocrypha by itself, or you can get your King James 1611 with it in it. But it's found in between the Old Testament and the New Testament.
And
Most Christian bookstores might have them.
And you can also, well, if you don't have one, but you know you can download it on your phone. All right, let's keep rolling.
Verse 13. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved.
Got to endure to the end. You got to endure until the end. So we got to make it through this, because it's not the end yet. There's two ends. Either you going to yield up the ghost, or the Messiah going to come back before then. But there's the only two ends. So you got to keep this going, enduring until the very last breath out your body. That's your end. Or when the Messiah come, if he come in our lifetime, that's that other end. But you got to get to it. You must endure until the end, that ye may be saved.
That's right. Verse 14. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come.
So we just read there, looking in this camera. We know that this goes out to all the world. We know I love to hear people all over the world say, I'm shouting out from England, I'm shouting out from Jamaica, I'm shouting out from this and that. Okay, Costa Rica, all that. Aren't we going around to the ends of the world? So this is the time that what we're reading, this prophecy in Matthew 24, y'all see how we done changed now. So we are boy, blessed by the most. For us to be able to put his word out to the ends of the world. So you see where we're at now? When he said, then what? Read that last part again.
And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come.
So that's where we're at. It's being preached to all nations. So what do we expect next?
And they know it.
The end.
They know what's going on.
Read on.
Verse 15. When ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation, spoken of by Daniel the prophet, stand in the holy place. Whoso readeth, let him understand. Then let them which be in which be in Judea, flee into the mountains.
That's where you see the flee doctrine.
Right, if you be in Judea.
That's the only flee doctrine we have in this book. Flee to the mountains.
Not if you be in Jennings.
Yeah, and not fleeing to there.
Ain't no mountains in
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know, in,
Judea. Judea endings.
Go up to the top of Genesee Road.
Right.
Flee to the other end.
Flee over the pine lawn.
Flee over the pine, Lord. That's gonna be even worse.
Right. Jumping out of the fire pan to the fire.
Yeah. Verse 17. Let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house. Neither let him which is in the field return back to take his clothes. And woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days.
How you gonna prepare for that?
Right.
Any of that?
Right, and he didn't say at this certain time it's best that y'all just stop having babies.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Being prepared for it so
It
you
can
won't have
happen
to.
anytime
It said
while you
woe
doing
unto them.
anything.
Right.
If you ain't prepared up here,
You're gonna lose anyway.
you're gonna lose.
Anyway.
Verse 20. But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time. No, nor ever shall be. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. Then, if any man shall say unto you, Lo, here is a Mashiach, or there, believe it not. For there shall arise false Mashiachs, and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect.
But see, this is the problem. People are being fooled by Negroes that ain't done nothing.
Right.
These Negroes ain't done nothing but fleece your pockets, and you Negroes are running, sucking up under the kneecaps of these Negroes, and they haven't done a thing but twisted words, and that's all they did. The pimp game. 3-quart model. That's it. So imagine what these cats that's gonna come up that has the power of the 5G system behind them, or the HARP project, or Project Bluebeam. They ain't seen nothing yet.
Stay tuned.
This is a beautiful text, Michael. Thank you for that, brother.
Verse 25. Behold, I have told you before. Wherefore, if they shall say unto you, Behold, he is in the desert, go not forth. Behold, he is in the secret chambers, believe it not. For as the lightning cometh out of the east, and shineth even unto the west, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For wheresoever the carcass is, there will the eagles be gathered together. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened.
Start that over.
You'll know.
That key word, that's just that key word. I just want to hear it one more time, that key word.
Now, before we hit that real quick,
Go ahead.
In Genesis 19, you see the same things happen with Lot. Lot was told to flee to the mountain. There was tribulation going on before Christ came and destroyed the city. The 5 cities with fire and brimstone. Like that's going to happen in the future. He didn't tell Lot to flee to the other city, but Lot requested to go to another city because it was of a shorter distance and he didn't feel he could make it all the way to the mountain. So the Most High appointed that city of refuge for
a minute.
Just to give him enough breath to get on where he needs to get on. But out of his faith, preserved him and his people with his 2 daughters. Because if you notice, the mama looked back and the sons didn't go with him either. Right? The son-in-laws. So where were their hearts at? See, we don't ever talk about what happened to the 2 husbands. They stayed in Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yep, because their daughters followed
They
after
never
their
even
husbands.
left. So they saw the Sodomites. But you see, Lot was told to flee to the mountains.
Told to flee. Lot didn't say.
These are the only flee doctrines we have. Because the Most High says that's a refuge point for us. He's reserved a space in those mountains that's going to cover us from the nuclear fallout that he's going to orchestrate.
So that when he put it down on this country, he making a way for us. He's making a way for, he said, I will gather and return and bring my people back. So before we come up out of here, we gonna leave up out of here, and then he gonna put his destruction down, because Babylon must pay.
Was there a rapture point for Lot?
Nope.
Immediately after they wanted to attack them angels, judgment came.
That's right.
They just got Lot out the way.
Was there a rapture point before Noah, before the flood?
Nope. It was a chance given for
You will see
120
there's a
years.
consistency of everything that occurs on this earth with our Elohim and his creation. So how is it we conjure up some new thing to happen in our time? Everything is a consistency of things that started in the beginning. To get us back to the beginning.
Verse 29. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn. And they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory.
So why are they mourning and not rejoicing?
Yeah.
It's whooping time.
The gig is up.
Yep, it's whooping time.
Over.
There it is.
Verse 31. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the 4 winds, from one end of heaven to the other. Now learn a parable of the fig tree. When his branch is yet tender, and putteth forth leaves, ye know that summer is nigh. So likewise ye, when ye shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the doors. Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all these things be fulfilled.
So how are cats gonna skip prophecies and then try to proclaim a date and time of the evil? He says everything has to be fulfilled before it happens. So how you leapfrogging over events?
Right.
Just because to you, and what it comes down to impatience.
Scared.
Right.
Lack of faith.
fear and impatience. Exactly what Judas had.
Yes, sir.
So Negroes are going to start selling out their brethren because it ain't happening yet.
Right.
Verse 35. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word shall not pass away.
So the Old Testament ain't done away with?
No,
Okay then.
you need it.
But of that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be.
We living in the days of Noah? Okay. So what they weren't doing, we see going on. We see these people out here kicking it and saying they ain't caring. We going to the beaches still and we ain't supposed to. This one dude was on spring break, went down there on that beach, and so he on spring break, so after spring break over, you were in college, you go where? Back home to your parents' house, right? That boy came home, there was a sign on his door, his daddy said, you ain't getting in there. So now where he gonna go? See what I'm saying? You wanna be that foolish and disobedient and think you gonna bring that stuff in my house? Big old cardboard sign, you ain't getting in here. As well as he should have. Go ahead.
Verse 38. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, until the day that Noah entered into the ark.
To that day.
They heard that door shut and knew not until the flood came.
Who was that?
Right. That squirrel pee on me.
That was the biggest drop I ever felt.
And knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. Then shall two be in the field. The one shall be taken and the other left. Two women shall be grinding at the mill, not dancing, but grinding
Making
mill.
flour.
The one shall be taken and the other left. Watch therefore, for ye know not what hour your Mashiach doth come.
So by watching, is that just sitting there with some binoculars on, looking up? Watching and waiting, like the Muslims tell us, you just gonna sit there and wait for some white man to come out the sky and save you? No, what he means by watching is staying in his word.
Right.
Because you don't know when he coming. Oh man, what's that script when it says that how much more would he be happy if he came and found us doing what we're supposed to be doing rather than not getting caught up and not watching and doing what we ain't supposed to be doing? How much happier would he be with us and he came and found us doing this, what we supposed to be doing? There you go. You want to be pleasing to him. You want to be in a state of mind that I got to do good and righteous all the time because I don't know when he coming.
That's right.
I can't just wait and say, well, I'm going to sneak over here and rob this bank real quick because I think I got time. You don't know when he coming back. What if he come and catch you robbing that bank and all your righteousness is gone? You understand?
Put that Luke 7, chapter 17 and
You got a question online too.
30, between 30 and 34 or 5 or whatever, where it's also given the example of Lot leaving out of Sodom and Gomorrah. It's comparing Lot along with Noah as to what was going on and how they were still doing the same things right before Christ came and rained brimstone, fire and brimstone down on Sodom and Gomorrah.
What's the
So
question?
you see the consistency. Luke chapter 17.
I got you. What was the question?
The question is, was Yahweh hung on a tree or a cross?
Well,
A
it's
cross made out of a tree. It was
they
still a
call
tree.
it a tree.
They
where
call
were-
it
they
a
were
tree.
old. It was a tree, however, it was formed in the form of a cross where they would put up the side posts for the hands to hang from.
Right.
So
But
they,
it's a tree in the sense that it was made from a tree. It's made from the stock of a tree.
right, and that's just, sometimes it's referred to as simply a tree because that's what it was made from,
Right.
as opposed to when they
If
say
you
a
go
cross,
back
and
and
a description
you
of
see
what
the
the tree was
medieval-
made into.
The times of crucifixion, it was a practice of how they killed the criminals back then.
Right,
And so they would take a stock of a tree, cut down a portion of a tree, and those branches on the side they would utilize, or they would insert branches from the side so that the hands would hang from as well.
and the script that, to keep us moving, it says, "Cursed is he that hangeth on a tree." Well, we were hung, of course, on trees, but we weren't put up on a tree. They hung us from a string from a tree.
Cause see, and back then from the cross part, you hung there until you asphyxiated and you know, things of that nature. Whereas just like in hanging from a tree from a noose, you know, you die from asphyxiation, you know, you snap your neck, but a lot of times your neck is snapped. And you die from that immediately instead of the
No
asphyxiation.
suffering. Right.
So it's still the same form of punishment. One just tends to be a quicker death than the other. Because if you didn't die before a certain time on the cross, they came and broke your legs to speed up the process.
Right.
So, in the sense, it was still a tree because it was the stock of a tree.
Right.
So, you know, don't get caught up in
Schematics.
You know, the schematics of, you know, what was the actual device used for his death. The issue should be, did he resurrect on the third day?
There you go. There you go. Because that's
That should be the issue and not how did he die, because now are you gonna go get if he was shot with a 9mm, would you wear a millimeter or 9 around your neck? We're always looking for symbolisms to show our allegiance.
to Christ.
Then it should be in your heart.
There it is.
He said Israel always seeking a sign. Stop looking for these certain signs that gender nothing.
Right.
We ought to be concerned about that which is going to bring us salvation. Now I understand, want to know the details about certain things, but some details will throw you left field and off course. If you concentrate on these small matters. The main thing is to concentrate on the resurrection, life eternal. But to answer your question, it's both. It's a cross and a tree. It's a cross made from a tree. Does that answer that question?
Yeah, they got it. If they didn't, Jacob say, get it, got it, good. Real simple, Hebrews. Verse 43. But know this, that if the good man of the house had known in what watch the thief would come, he would have watched and would not have suffered his house to be broken up. Therefore, be ye also ready, for in such an hour as ye think not the Son of Man cometh. Who then is a faithful and wise servant, who is Lord, hath made ruler over his household, to give them meat in due season? Blessed is that servant, whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find doing. That's the scripture.
There it is. Hallelujah. There it is, right there.
I found it fast.
Thank you.
Like I said, all you gotta do is read on.
Yeah,
Yep,
right.
keep
Keep
reading.
reading. Number
He
one
always
rule.
clears it up, but sometimes we might be perfect.
Hallelujah.
We might not get there.
Yep,
So
hallelujah.
We're gonna always step in.
There it is.
Verse 47. Verily I say unto you, that he shall make him ruler over all his goods. But, and if that evil servant shall say in his heart, my Lord delayeth his coming, and shall begin to smite his fellow servants, and to eat and drink with the drunken. The Lord of that servant shall come in a day when he looketh not for him, and in an hour that he is not aware of, and shall cut him asunder, and appoint him his portion with the hypocrites. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth.
All right. Luke 21, verse 36. And this Luke 21, 36, the entire chapter of Luke 21 is a second witness to Matthew 24, what we just read. So on your own time, y'all will run through that, read that entire Luke 21, okay? But I want to hit this one specific scripture as for further instructions for us.
It's needed.
Okay?
That Luke 17, it was starting in 26 and go down to 33. Okay. For that about putting Lot in the same comparison as Noah.
Okay.
The days of Lot.
Okay.
We're in the book of Luke, chapter 21 and verse 36. And it reads, Watch ye therefore, and pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man.
Okay, so this is something that you say, watch ye therefore and pray always. For one, this should be a part of your daily personal prayer, because it's telling you to do that. It's telling you to, this is instructions. Watch ye therefore and pray ye always, that ye may be found worthy to escape the things that are to come to pass. This was before coronavirus.
You gotta be worthy to escape?
Worthy to escape. You should be been on this before the coronavirus came. So now that it's here, what is it that you're being found worthy of? Escaping. Huh? Coronavirus.
That's right.
And any and everything else that he has for these people. You are supposed to be able to navigate right around through it, because you're doing what you're supposed to do, what he told you to do. And one of them is pray ye always, that ye may be found, like Zeb just said, worthy. Worthy. If you ain't worthy, you're gonna get caught up. Okay? So that steps your game up another level. Right? Now, give me Mark 1, 1 through 3, and John 1 all.
Mark 1, 1 through 3, and John 1 all.
Yes, sir.
Let me know when y'all ready.
When you ready.
It's on you, Ed.
No, I'm just bad. He's got that. It's on him.
All right, Mark chapter 1, verse 1. The beginning of the gospel of Jesus Christ, the Son of God. As it is written in the prophets, Behold, I send my messenger before thy face, which shall prepare thy way before thee. The voice of one crying in the wilderness, Prepare ye the way of the Lord, make his path straight. That's all I want, right?
Make it pass straight.
And then jump over to John for, one of,
Yeah.
that one.
John 1 off.
Yeah.
Make your path straight.
You said John 1 all, right?
Yep. Not first John, but John.
Yeah, 1. Alright, John chapter 1 verse 1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The same was in the beginning with God. All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. And the light shineth in the darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not. There was a man sent from God whose name was John. The same came for a witness, to bear witness of the light, that all men through him might believe. He was not that light, but was sent to bear witness of that light. That was the true light, which lighteth every man that cometh into the world.
So he's saying that, not to cut you off, Ezra, he's saying that every man is given that opportunity to eternal life when they come into the world.
Mm-hmm.
Every man. So no one is without excuse. Everybody done heard about the Most High and Christ.
Mm-hmm.
Whether they believe or not is another issue, but they know of their existence.
Mm-hmm.
Read on, bro.
Verse 9 again. That was the true light, which lighteth every man that cometh into the world. He was in the world, and the world was made by him, and the world knew him not. He came unto his own, and his own received him not. But as many as received him, to them gave he power to become the sons of God, even to them that believed on his name.
So you see that he gave you power. Go ahead.
But he said even to those that came to believe on his name, which were the Gentiles. He said he came unto his own first. His own received him not.
Like Paul when he went to his own.
You'll see that when after Christ's resurrection, he told the disciples, go out and preach my word unto every living creature. So who are we to say that we're the only ones to obtain this?
Right.
When he created them as well.
Right. Who makes you, give you the power to choose who get the word and who don't? Or who do you feel
might not be
right?
into
Who do you feel that's worthy of the word or not?
Right.
That's your decision. No.
We got to get off of this pro-black nationalist mind state. Has nothing to do with color. Because the Hamite is blacker than us. The original Asians are blacker than us. So it ain't got nothing to do with color.
We just read we was a
Christ
speckled
told
bird.
Cornelius, you had more faith than everybody in my nation.
That's right. Told that to
So what
Veronica.
was he being a Roman?
Right. He told that to Veronica, the sister that grabbed the hem of his garment.
That's right. So what color are they?
Right. He said, I found no greater faith than all of Israel. So, and she was a Gentile. And we just read.
Job was Esau. Job was of the sons of Esau, the offspring of Esau. So if we gonna get into color, we got a problem there.
And see where we just read in that Isaiah 44, what I heard Elisha break that off. He said that our heritage is that of a speckled bird. So how can we claim a color and we all different shades? But look what happens. It's still a light skin and a dark skin. You old black ass nigga. That's the first thing come out your mouth. You just can't be black. You black ass. It's gotta be that. Or you high yellow ass heifer. You know what I'm saying? That's we still live in those self-hating of ourselves because we was taught that. We was taught that. We were taught to hate each other, AKA Willie Lynch. All right? Okay, so if we were taught to hate each other, why can't we teach each other to love each other?
We gotta get
The
out
only
of
way we can love each other
fleshly
is
mindset.
what is love.
We gotta
Keep
get
the
out of
commandments.
fleshly mindset. Get on the spiritual mindset.
That's right.
Right.
Read on, bro.
Verse 13. Which were born not of blood, nor of the will of the flesh, nor of the will of man, but of God. And the Word was made flesh, and dwelt amongst us, and we beheld his glory, the glory as of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. John bare witness of him, and cried, saying, This was he of whom I spake, he that cometh after me is preferred before me, for he was before me. And of his fullness have all we received, and grace for grace. For the law was given by Moses, but grace and truth came by Jesus Christ.
When you see,
Oh, go ahead.
no, go ahead. I got you. I know what I'm gonna say.
But check this out. He says, now this is John bearing witness.
Right.
He says that he is preferred before me, for he came before me. So how could he be Joseph's son?
Exactly.
And Joseph is older than him.
About 6 months.
And what I was going to say to that was that you see how John understood. He said, I came before him, he came after me, but he was before me. You see that? Now think about
preferred.
Right, preferred over. That's right. You see that?
It's Christ, through Christ is salvation, not through John.
Exactly. And John understood that. John understood that.
He was the one who created all things.
That's
even
right.
him.
That's right.
He said he's before me.
Right.
But John was how many? He was months older than Christ.
6 months older. 6 months older. So you see here that the whole purpose of this class, now that we got to John, is to do what John did. Now we all are Johns. We're the ones that in that Mark, when I went to run to the bathroom, that Mark 1 through 3, we the ones are that are now that one voice crying in the wilderness, because we all have our own personal wildernesses that we deal with. We know there's a famine of the word out here. We know that the things that are going on out here, but you have to be that one, like Sister said there last week. You got to be that one that's going to stand up and represent him and his son. You got to be that one against all odds. Okay, against all odds, you got to be that one that's stand there by yourself
Now,
and defend him.
that's right, and that's teaching. There's a lot of brothers and sisters don't think they are teaching, but when you bring one and you plant a seed, what are you doing?
You repeat his word, you teaching.
All
You
of
know
us
how
have
to direct
become
somebody
a
to
teacher
his
at
word.
some point.
That's right.
How else do you plant a seed? Don't get caught up, well, teaching just means standing in front of the masses,
Right.
bringing
Right.
forth the word and understanding.
That's what I said.
We all have to become individual teachers planting seeds.
By yourself.
Some of us are different. We got
Right.
some
You got a
that
different way of,
Right,
Some understand in front of thousands.
Right.
Some do it one-on-one.
right,
right.
right. It's all
But
you'll
we're
get.
all teachers within
It's
our
all-
own, like you said, wilderness. The whole world is a wilderness right now.
Yep.
That's
And we're all in it.
That's
That's
right.
like I'm more comfortable doing it on record.
Right.
I'm
Right.
more comfortable doing it.
Right.
I sit
but
back and
that's
listen to
your
me like that. I said that.
Right, Let me rewind it real quick. I feel
You know what I'm
there.
saying? So you have to use whatever gift that the Most High has blessed you with
That's just right.
as your teaching
Right.
tool.
If you can't tell them
On
nothing.
thyself.
Yeah.
Right.
Yourself.
That's what Paul said. In teaching others, dost thou not teach thyself?
Yes, because you will say
Excellent.
things that will
Excellent,
come to
Stephanie.
your minds like, whoa, like Giselle just said. I say that. Mm-hmm. But you just taught yourself.
Right.
Something that you knew, but it didn't come to recall until you brought it forth.
Right.
Because when you in line with him,
Right.
he give you the words.
That's what I was just
You ain't even gotta think about what you gonna
the
say.
Holy
He
Spirit
gonna give
will
it to
bring
you.
into remembrance all those things that make you look at yourself like you said.
And then you
I
be
said
like, I
that.
said that.
Me?
All you have to do is be on point.
That's it.
Study to show thyself approved.
That's it.
It ain't about you, how much you know. It's about what do you know to be true.
Yep.
He will add it to you, man. He will give you. He ain't gonna allow his word to go void or to make. He put you out there to make you look silly and foolish
Yep.
with his word.
Right.
It don't make sense.
On his will.
Right. I was at work.
If you are sincere in your heart and you seeking the Most High with truth and understanding, He's going to in turn give you what you need to do His will.
Right.
I mean, you know, you say you signed up for this job, but your employer is not going to give you the necessary tools to do the job. Then what the hell he hired you for? To make you look stupid and his business go under? Don't
Right.
make sense.
You can't keep it unless you give it away.
Don't make
right.
sense. We have to give it away. We have to plant seed.
Right.
It has to go forth.
It has to, because if you keep it to yourself, you're gonna lose it.
Right. You'll forget it.
All right. We only got a few more, y'all. We out of here.
Well, yeah, Doc.
It's almost like regular class.
It is.
It is. We laughing just as much.
Verse 15. John bare witness of him and cried, saying, This was he of whom I spake. He that cometh after me is preferred before me, for he was before me. And of his fullness have all we received, and grace for grace. For the law was given by Moses, but grace and truth came by Jesus Christ. No man hath seen God at any time. The only begotten Son, which is in the bosom of the Father, he hath declared him. And this is the record of John, which the Jews sent priests and Levites from Jerusalem to ask him, Who art thou? And he confessed and denied not, but confessed, I am not the Christ.
Yeah, he said, I'm John, I ain't Christ.
And they asked him, What then? Art thou Elias? And he said, I am not. Art thou that prophet? And he answered, No.
So you see, they believe in reincarnation.
Right.
They had the doctrine of reincarnation. They like, oh, he got to be some
Right.
fella from the past.
Came back.
Old prophet.
Came back.
Come back to warn us.
Because you know why? Because for one, at this time, the earth was a wilderness. Just what John said. I'm one voice crying in the wilderness.
Yeah, it was-
And from then, you see what ain't been happening since then. If they're asking John, is you just kept from the Old Testament, that means ain't nothing been popping for a long time. And then when John show up on the scene, they're like, you gotta be from back there, because ain't nobody else said
It was
nothing like
popping,
that.
but it was underground.
Right.
It was just like the days are going to be. Those who are called with the script, or those who are believers, had to go underground because they were being persecuted.
And you-
so after Christ, you know, they were persecuting anybody who was a follower of Christ's doctrine. So the true believers, disciples, and apostles went underground.
Like us.
So, you know, they sitting out to, is there more Christ believers and followers out there?
Right, are they coming?
We
Right.
gotta persecute them
Right.
and put them to sleep.
They had a-
Otherwise, they're gonna destroy our business.
That's what it is. They had a lock on the game. They had a lock on the
Yeah,
game,
they had a lock
and
on
then
it.
John showed up. It's like, uh-oh, this
Oh,
nigga
here
better
another
watch
one
it.
come.
Yep. So here, and then that's where it all began with their downfall when Christ showed up on the scene. Woo! Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Come on.
Verse 22. Then said they unto him, Who art thou? That we may give an answer to them that sent us. What sayest thou of thyself? He said, I am the voice of one crying in the wilderness. Make straight the way of the Lord, as said the prophet Isaiah.
See, they had the books of Isaiah there. And so all the prophecies of the Messiah were written in the books of Isaiah. But see, they didn't believe in the Messiah coming, who Moses said there's going to be one come from your brethren who's going to be greater than me. Him you shall listen to. So they were thinking Isaiah was that prophet because of his prophecies concerning the Christ. Not understanding he wasn't talking about himself. He was talking about a greater brethren that's coming in the future times that's going to render judgment, true and righteous judgment. But they thinking, no, he must be that prophet we've been reading. Because remember Philip and the eunuch?
Ethiopian eunuch.
And he was reading about Isaiah, and he asked Philip, he said, who is he talking about? Himself or somebody else?
That's Acts
See,
chapter
at
8.
that time they thought Isaiah was speaking of himself. He was speaking of the prophet, the great one, to come, not himself. So that's why they combated Christ with all these things and the prophecies written, because they were like, he got to be that old prophet. No, he's like, no, I'm the one he talked about.
Right. I
But they
indeed.
couldn't peep that
Right.
because they were caught up on flesh. Read on, bro.
Verse 24.
That was Acts chapter 8 about the Ethiopian eunuch.
Verse 24. And they which were sent were of the Pharisees. And they asked him and said unto him, Why baptizest thou then, if thou be not that Christ, nor Elias, neither that prophet? John answered them, saying, I baptize with water, but there standeth one among you whom ye know not. He it is who cometh after me is preferred before me, whose shoes latchet I am not worthy to loose. Unloose. These things were done in Bethlehem, beyond Jordan,
Who sent them?
where John was baptized. The next day John said Jesus coming unto him, and said, Behold, the Lamb of God, which taketh away the sin of the world. This is he of whom I said, after me cometh a man which is preferred before me, for he was before me. And I knew him not, but that he should be made manifest to Israel. Therefore am I come baptizing with water. And John bare record, saying, I saw the Spirit descending from heaven like a dove, and it abode upon him. And I knew him not, but he that sent me to baptize with water, the same said unto me, upon whom thou shalt see the Spirit descending and remaining on him, the same is he which baptizes with the Holy Ghost.
Hold tight real quick.
Okay.
That's Putna.
Putna, your question about who sent them, verse 19 of this same John. And this is the record of John when the Jews sent priests and Levites from Jerusalem to ask him, who art thou? It was the Jews in the temple sent them out there to John.
And
So
verse
there's
24 said the Pharisees, verse 24 as well.
verse 24 says, and they which were sent were of the Pharisees. So the Pharisees are the ones who sent them out there to John. So hallelujah, there's the answer to the question.
Yeah, because the people were following the ways of Herod the king, who was against the commandments, statutes, and judgments of the Most High. So that was commonplace, just like people are rolling with the ways of America now and despise the ways of the righteousness of the Most High and His Holy Begotten Son. They're rolling and you got half of people thinking they're American, African American, Afro American, and they're confederate with this country and all its belief system. They trust in it wholeheartedly, okay? And they're not on the side of the Most High because they will sell out, and they're going to sell out their own people for this system. And it's a Bible.
Right on, Ryan Lemons. I see you out there. So, let's continue on.
Verse 34, and I saw and bear record that this is the Son of God. Again, the next day after John stood, and two of his disciples, and looking upon Jesus as he walked, he said, behold, the Lamb of God. And the two disciples heard him speak, and they followed Jesus. Then Jesus turned and saw them following, and said unto them, what seek ye? And they said unto him, Rabbi, which is to say, being interpreted, Master, where dwellest thou? He said unto them, come and see. They came and saw where he dwelt, and abode with him that day, for it was about the 10th hour. One of the two which heard John speak and followed him was Andrew, Simon Peter's brother. He first findeth his own brother Simon, and said unto him, we have found the Messiah, which is being interpreted the Christ. And he brought him to Jesus, and Jesus beheld him and said, thou art Simon, the son of Jonah. Thou shalt be called
Cephas,
which is by interpretation a stone. The following day Jesus would go forth into Galilee, and findeth Philip, and said unto him, follow me. Now Philip was of Bethsaida, the city of Andrew and Peter. Philip findeth Nathaniel, and saith unto him, we have found him of whom Moses in the law and the prophets did write, Jesus of Nazareth, the son of Joseph.
See that Bethesda there where they was from? That translate to Berkeley today.
So what you see is they going about spreading the word, and they telling brothers, hey, come unto the Christ, man. Come unto the gospel, man. We found salvation. Bruh, we know where it is. We found it.
Right.
We found what we've been studying, reading about.
And seeking and
He's
waiting
right
for.
over here, man.
That's right.
You see? So they were going about spreading the word. They planting seeds. Come on over here. And they went to their neighbors first. Their brethren first.
Like we all did.
Yeah.
Because it was anointed overflowing with joy. You like,
That's
man,
right.
I gotta turn
That's
my
that,
voice
well,
over this,
you ain't lying, man. I'm
Oh
telling
man,
you.
this is look, man. I
Boy.
gotta turn my people on to this.
When you found out the truth and the love that you didn't even know could exist, that's the first thing you want to do is share it with somebody.
That's down. They like, man, what you? Boy, you done found got a hold of some boy that got you on a whole other level.
They thought I was crazy. They was like, hey, you rather be at home by yourself? You got 3 gals up here at this club.
Right.
You could go home with any one of them. If I wanted to be with them, they'd be here with me and not up there with you.
There you go. There you go.
Now they want to know what man.
Yep. Don't want to go to the club no more. Don't want to do no more drive-by shoes. Yep.
What is wrong with this cat?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All from Uriah having me in his backyard with a beer can. I had one beer the whole night for 4 hours because I was driving back to California. And he had me in the corner with scriptures at his birthday party.
But you were so full, you didn't even trip off. Man, you had no other.
Right.
You didn't want one because you were soaking up so much.
I planned on not drinking because I knew I was driving. I knew I had to drive, so I wasn't gonna drink. I think I ain't even hardly touched that can.
Yep.
46.
That was a beautiful night.
That word.
Verse 46. And Nathaniel said unto him, Can there any good thing come out of Nazareth? Philip said unto him, Come and see.
Right. Come and see.
You talking about something good coming out the project?
Right. Come and see.
Out the Cochran?
Right.
Out the Peabody's, Blue Line?
The east side.
You have lost your mind.
Pine
Say,
Lawn.
no, that's where he is, dog. Come and see. It ain't in no beautiful man.
Exact. Where it was least expected. Where it was least expected to
It ain't in them glorious mega churches.
Trump Tower.
Dog, it's right behind this alley over here.
Yep.
When he had me go start working at the Cochran, it felt way better than when I was working out there with the white people.
Yo, of course.
I mean, it's more work to do.
Right.
And I got to deal with a lot of crazy people.
But they ain't looking at you like they
like to my people.
Right.
That's more fulfilling.
That's right.
You have a purpose now. You're not just doing a job. You're serving a mission.
You putting in
amongst
work.
that job, and you being paid for it.
Well,
That's a beautiful thing. You get a 2-in-1 deal.
Yep.
that's all praises, man.
Man, that's beautiful.
They say
that the Most High will put you in such a position.
And I had asked for it. When I was
you
at the
got it.
factory, I said,
And you
I'd
got
rather be around my people so they could see me shine in this light. Because these people out here don't want to hear it.
They don't care to see you shine.
Right. They want to
They
see you
want to see
fail.
you subdued.
See you fail.
Your people are going to benefit from your shine. Read on, bro.
Verse 47.
Yes, sir.
Jesus saw Nathanael coming to him and said of him, Behold, an Israelite indeed, in whom is no guile. Nathanael saith unto him, Whence knowest thou me? Jesus answered and said unto him, Before that Philip called thee, when thou wast under the fig tree, I saw thee. Nathanael answered and said unto him, Rabbi, thou art the Son of God, thou art the King of Israel.
Hallelujah.
Jesus answered and said unto him, Because I said unto thee, I saw thee under the fig tree, believest thou? Thou shalt see greater things than these.
Because he knew. There wasn't no surveillance camera back then.
Right.
He like, man, when I was chilling, wasn't nobody around.
Right. And boy, you thinking too
saw me?
what I was doing under that tree.
Oh, you saw what I was doing. Oh, yeah, you are the son.
Right.
He wasn't nobody around when I went under that tree.
Wait.
He probably rolled up the fattest one. Like, you saw that? Oh, you peeped it. Wow. And remember, he was the one that told us, like, man, ain't nothing good coming out of the project, dog.
Right.
What y'all talking about, man? You talking about the hood? Where we all come from?
Right.
Dog.
Well, that's what they accused Nicodemus of. They say that's why you sticking up for him, because y'all come from the same place. That's your whole point.
You a hood nigga.
Right. That's why you speaking up for him.
But Nathaniel was like, no, man, this has got to, and he said there was no guile in Nathaniel's mouth. Meaning Nathaniel was one of them truth tellers, like one of them cats, like, man, no, you don't want to ask him because he's brutal
Right,
with his truth.
right.
He'll tell you flat out. He ain't gonna hold back. He gonna tell you. So you might want to be careful of what you want to know from him, because he ain't gonna bite his tongue. He gonna tell you exactly what it is.
All right.
Read on.
Alright, where I'm at.
Verse 50.
Yeah.
Last verse.
No, 51.
Mm-hmm.
51.
Mm-hmm.
And he said unto him, Verily, verily, I say unto you, hereafter ye shall see heaven open, and the angels of Yahweh ascending and descending upon the Son of Man.
All right, y'all. We got Exodus 15 and 25, Deuteronomy 28, 58 through 61,
Exodus what?
15, verse 25, and Deuteronomy 28, 58 through 61. These are second witnesses, but they're flipped. Okay?
Deuteronomy what?
28, 15, 58, verse through 61.
And then
First Maccabees 41 through the end, and then the prayer.
first night 41.
After Deuteronomy, First Maccabees.
Yes, sir.
First Maccabees what?
41 through the end.
Who?
41 through the end.
Chapter 41.
Oh, yeah, you didn't say that. Right?
It's chapter 1.
Chapter 1, 41 to the end?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
That ain't what you said.
Yeah, that ain't what he said. I'm with you.
I said 41 through. I
Yeah,
probably said
you did.
First Maccabees instead of Maccabees 1.
Yeah, you did say first man.
Y'all got me.
All right, so we're going to Exodus 15.
Yep.
Ezra, go on ahead and do that Exodus, and
Alright,
that way
gotcha.
that Maccabee will follow you.
If Ezra, do the Exodus and the Deuteronomy. Let.
Well, I'll do the Deuteronomy.
I can do both of you want me to.
Oh, you'll read everything.
I come up,
You'll read
up
the
there, I
table
ain't done
contents.
all day.
You got two short ones. You can stand right there.
I like being right here sometimes.
Yeah.
We ain't going to defraud you.
I'm good.
Okay. What I want to say here, where we're going with this Exodus 15, Deuteronomy 28, is that y'all.
Oh, you can't do that. That ain't three. Go ahead, John.
Y'all, these are the two scriptures that y'all need to have on y'all tongues as memorize these for now. For these are the ones that when people ask you, this is your answer you give them. If anybody say, hey, they scared all this, what they saying about the coronavirus. You as a believer, give them these two scriptures. So these are something you memorize so that you have them with you in season and out of season while you out in the streets. So in this Exodus 15, verse 25.
Exodus chapter 15, verse 25. And he cried unto the Lord, and the Lord showed him a tree, which when he had cast into the waters were made sweet. There he made for them a statute and an ordinance, and there he proved them. And said, if thou wilt diligently hearken to the voice of the Lord thy God, and will do that which is right in his sight, and will give ear to his commandments, and keep all his statutes, I will bring none of these diseases upon thee, which I have brought upon the Egyptians. For I am the Lord that healeth thee. And they came to Elam.
Wait, that's stop. 26 was it.
All right.
So there's the first side. Before I explain it, we're gonna read the flip side of it. The Deuteronomy 28, 58 through 61.
So it's all through faith. And people keep saying, what faith got to do with it? It's got everything to do with it.
Yes, that's right.
It's got everything to do with it.
Because you can't physically do it.
It's got everything to do with it.
Okay, you there?
If you ain't got no belief or faith, then what you in it for? What's the purpose?
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 58.
Yes, sir.
If thou wilt not observe to do all the words of this law that are written in this book, that thou mayest fear this glorious and fearful name, the Lord thy God, then the Lord will make thy plagues wonderful, and the plagues of thy seed, even great plagues, and of long continuance, and sore sicknesses, and of long continuance. Moreover, he will bring upon thee all the diseases of Egypt, which thou wast afraid of, and they shall cleave unto thee. Also every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of this law, them will the Lord bring upon thee until thou be destroyed.
So there's your choice. Obedience or disobedience. He said, if you do what I tell you to do, which we know what they are, commandments, statutes, judgments, laws. He said, if you do this and be obedient to me, I will not bring any of these plagues upon you that I brought upon Egypt. And we know where we at, New Egypt. We see the plagues that are out here. We ain't talking just about coronavirus. We talking about everything else. Tornadoes.
Nigger virus.
Right, everything. everything that he say that he got punishing these people, you don't get part of that punishment if you do what he said. So the only way, because in the flip side, in the Deuteronomy 28, in the curse part of it is where you see he say, if you don't do it, then he went through the list. And he broke it down. I'm gonna do this to you, 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 I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do all these things. And he said that you were afraid of. So if you out here right now, not in the faith, strength in faith, not believing like you're supposed to, if you don't know how you believe, and you're scared right now, he said what you're scared of is what I'm gonna give you. Okay, you see that? So these two scriptures here are what you use to tell people, and it's simple. This is, I do the Exodus side. I'm trying to keep his commandments, statutes, judgment, law. I'm on the Exodus side. Don't want to be on the Deuteronomy side. So y'all just remember them two scriptures. That way you can explain that right then and there, and you give the person the choice right up front. How come you ain't scared? Because this is why.
You can be on the Deuteronomy 28 side, but be on the 1 through 15 side of Deuteronomy.
Exactly.
Which is the same as the Exodus side. Because the curse side of that is in the 15 through 68 is where we read that at. He said, this is what I'm going to do. This is the curse side. I'm going to do this to you. So last one, Elisha, is yours. Maccabees 1:41 through the end. And then we get the prayer on y'all.
We're going in First Maccabees in the Apocrypha.
We got messed up. He can't put it on the board. I don't know how to put it on the camera. I'm gonna hold it up.
First Maccabees, you want me to start at 41?
Yes.
First Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 41. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people, New World Order, and everyone shall leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. Yeah, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion, and sacrificed unto idols, and profaned the Sabbath. For the king had sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah, that they should follow the strange laws of the land, and forbid burnt offerings and sacrifices and drink offerings in the temple, and that they should profane the Sabbaths and festival days, and pollute the sanctuary and holy people, set up altars and groves and chapels of idols, which are the churches of the day, and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts, that they should also leave their children uncircumcised and make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and profanation. To the end they might forget the law and change all the ordinances.
Shabbat shalom, family. How you doing? Hey, we finna get this prayer on it just when he finished reading. If you want to get in on this prayer.
Yeah, that's what's up.
We have now exceeded.
Yeah, we still within the boundaries, bro.
Yeah.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Good to see your face. It's a blessing, brother.
Always, brother. Always.
We got 3 people, y'all.
Where something, y'all?
49, read 49 again.
49. To the end they might forget the law and change all ordinances. And whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he said he should die. In the selfsame manner wrote he to his whole kingdom, and appointed overseers over all the people, commanding the cities of Judah to sacrifice, city by city. Then many of the people were gathered unto him, to wit, every one that forsook the law. And so they committed evils in the land, and drove the Israelites into secret places, even wheresoever they could flee for succor.
Okay, so the reason why we hitting this is, for one, we showing that there was a time when it came down to us, down to it like this for us. So we're seeing that right there, we had to hide and run, right? So this is the first year we ever have not been able to assemble and have a Passover together as a family. It's because of this virus out here, we have to do according to the law. We can't break the law to keep God's law. We can't break his law. His law is still gonna go forward, but we can't break their law. Okay? Because if we get caught, we get in trouble, things like that. No, he just make a way around it. So just to show right here, there's a time we went through this, and to see that there's a time coming, we're gonna have to go through this again. Okay, so this is to be prepared for. So here's your instruction manual.
It's just like in that time when we was talking about the word went underground.
Right.
And so the Pharisees and the powers that be of that time were sending out spies.
Right.
Go see where them niggas at.
Right.
I heard it's a new doctrine coming up that's in support of this Christ.
Right. Do some ear
Go see
hustling.
who teaching.
Right.
Where them niggas at.
What they talking about? What they talking about? Right.
Those days are coming again. It's going to be a famine of the word. He says not of bread and water, but of the word. Where the word going to have to go underground again.
Yep.
That's why he says seek him now while he can be found. While we can obtain these manuscripts in our possession.
Right.
Because it's going to come a time where they're going to persecute and kill anyone found with these manuscripts.
Yep.
So you have to have it in your heart.
That's right.
We are in a prep stage where we need to be studying it to the point it's in our heart. That if we don't have these manuscripts in our possession, we can still turn someone on to Hamashiach and salvation.
It's written on the tablets in your heart.
That's why it's so important to seek him now while he can be found, to study to show thyself approved, and to utilize our discretion in dealing with people out here in the world. It's important now.
Yep.
Because it's going to come a day where if you ain't leaning to this, you are doomed. Because the Most High said you can't enter into the kingdom with doubt.
Right. So if you got a 60 watt light bulb, you need to be putting on a 100 watt light bulb in you, so that you can see that, showing these other people, I'm that light. You ain't got to say it. They should be able to see it. So if your light bulb is dull, it's time for you to change your light bulb.
Right.
Because of the word that's coming out your mouth is supposed to shine to show you the one that's supposed to be, because we see that these times are coming. So you better be the one that got that green light on and say, come here.
So when we hear that neighbor should turn against neighbor and the hatred of many shall wax cold, these are these times that he's talking about where your own family gonna be saying, to save our soul, turn that nigga in.
Yeah.
Turn his ass in.
Yeah.
I know that's my son.
Yeah.
I know that's my brother. I know that's my sister. I know that's my daughter and all that. Turn that nigga in, because he gonna get our house kicked in and we gonna be persecuted.
Right.
We got the mark.
Right.
He ain't. He's a rebel.
They'll sell you
He's
out
going
for
against the system.
right. They'll sell you out for a honey baked ham.
And that's crazy because they'll sell you out for this word, but people who were selling dope,
Right.
we wouldn't tell them.
Won't tell on them. Won't tell. Right. Won't tell on the murderer.
Snitch culture in our
Right.
community.
Well, watch
No
how they
snitch.
flip. Right. Watch how it
And
flip.
it's
You
so
still
many
said that right,
unsolved
man.
murders, and it's not saying, but bro, you know, and then when it happens to you, you want somebody
Right.
to say something.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
They all
when you say,
stand out
I know
there
y'all
corner.
see
Stay,
me,
right.
Y'all
Right.
see something.
And then-
But where was your mind
Right.
when you saw a little brother
Yep.
get
Did you
murdered?
tell? Did you tell? Right. How many
The same
murders,
person that did
unsolved
it.
murders you know about personally and ain't telling? Read on.
You know. Okay, verse 51. Okay, yeah, 51. In the self-same manner wrote he to his whole kingdom and appointed overseers over all the people, commanding the cities of Judah to sacrifice city by city. Then many of the people were gathered unto them to
Shabbat shalom, brother. Shabbat shalom.
Now I need to jump down to 54. Shabbat shalom, brother. Verse 54. So I read all that. Now the 15th day of the month Caslo, in the 145th year, they set up the abomination of desolation upon the altar and builded idol altars throughout the cities of Judah on every side, and burnt incense at the doors of their houses and in the streets. And when they had rent in pieces the books, here it is, when they had rent in pieces the books of the law which they found, they burnt them with fire. So every time they find the scriptures, apocrypha,
Yep.
lost books, anything pertaining to the law, statutes, and judgments of the Most High, they gonna burn them.
What they call them scrolls?
Verse 57, and wheresoever was found with any the book of the testament, or if any consented to the law, the king's commandment was that they should put him to death.
Immediately. See that?
Thus did they by their authority unto the Israelites every month, to as many as were found in the cities. Now the 25th day of the month, they did sacrifice upon the idol altar, which was upon the altar of Yahweh. At which time, according to the commandment, they put to death certain women that had caused their children to be circumcised. And they hanged the infants about their necks, and rifled their houses, and slew them that had circumcised them. So we were seeing the plagues of Egypt. Kill all the firstborn. Verse 62, howbeit many in Israel were fully resolved and confirmed in themselves not to eat any unclean thing.
See that? That's what you got to be.
Hold fast to your faith, Israel.
That's right. Fully resolved.
Even amidst of these times, you have a greater reward.
That's right.
63, wherefore they chose rather to die, that they might not be defiled with meats, and that they might not profane the holy covenant. So then they died.
There it is.
And there was very great wrath upon Israel.
Hallelujah.
They shall wear out the saints, y'all.
Right.
It's coming, be prepared.
That's
Stand fast in your faith.
That's it.
Because their whole object is to get you to fall for the banana and the tailpipe. You don't get salvation. Misery loves company. Don't fall for it. That's why he says, many shall be deceived.
That's right.
Be ye not deceived by any man.
That's right.
That's why we gotta take this time while we going through this corona stuff, and we
Gird
gotta
up
do
your loins.
Passovers in our homes.
Yes.
Practice up.
Yes.
If you've been dependent on the whole congregation for you to do Passover, now's the time for you to tighten your game up.
There it is, brother.
Because there will come a time when we gotta do it like this.
Yep. Say it again, Zed.
There will come a time when we gotta do it just like we're doing it right now. You might have to hide and do it.
Yeah, that's right.
You may only have enough for yourself, might not even be able to get no land.
That's right.
Because we barely got it this time.
That's right.
I went to Sioux Lord yesterday, they was out.
I'm telling you, bro, we have to gird up. We at a point where you can't just say, well, I'm gonna wait for this brother to bring it to me.
Right.
I'm gonna wait on Sabbath class to get to understand.
Study to show thyself
I'm gonna
approved.
wait. Tomorrow ain't promised to none of us.
None of us.
The next 5 seconds ain't promised to none of us.
Right.
So get it while you can. Seek him while he can be found. Otherwise, you shit out of luck. Excuse my French, excuse my English, but you out of luck. If you don't get it now. And if you got doubt in your heart, it don't matter what you study, it ain't gonna matter because you ain't fully persuaded in your heart. You have to be sound in your faith. Abraham was about to give up his only son for a promise that he believed in.
Yep.
The Most High made a way out of that.
Sure right up, didn't it?
Your only son, I got you. I had to see where your faith at, homie. All gold is tried in the fire.
That's right. And he passed.
We all are being tried. We all have a trial and tribulation that we must go through individually and as a people. But we have to gird up. And we have to gird up in a spiritual sense, not about flesh. Because this flesh is decaying every day and it's weak.
Falling off.
Falling off.
No corruptible flesh shall inherit the
Remember Ezekiel 30 about the valley of dry bones. Can these bones live? It wasn't about the bones themselves, it was about the spiritual aspect of them bones which resided in them bones. Will it receive life and come to live it?
Let me speak on this too. For Daniel preparing some starter packs, so as he called it, for Passover. I think they're gonna put some lamb together, a bit of herb and matzos together. I got some extra, for those of y'all that's local, I got some extra bit of herb. I give all y'all some, I got enough for everybody down here. Daniel got bit of herb. Sister DeBoer got matzos, Daniel got matzos. Reach out and we can still make this happen, y'all.
Right.
Oh, we don't make it happen.
Still make this happen.
Right. And then see if you don't have it, that's your fault.
And if it, exactly.
And if you tune into the radio, and if you tune into the radio station, I believe Wednesday, at some point, Jacob is going to have a worldwide toast and breaking of the bread and taking a bit of herb.
All
We're going to all do that together if you tune
The
in.
Most High always provide a way for us to get it done.
Right.
We have to do what we supposed to do. No excuses, y'all. Let's get this prayer on. Hallelujah. Praise. May the Most High keep his protective hedge around all of us and our households. Protect our youth. Protect our babies. Protect our elders.
All of us.
All of us.
All 12 tribes scattered abroad.
Praise the Lord to the worldwide assembly.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
All right, y'all. We'll get this closing prayer, of course, with the Most High's permission. In the name of his only beloved and begotten Son, our uncrowned King, Yahushua HaMashiach. We know him as Jesus Christ, y'all. Long live the King.
Long live the King.
We'll be reading in the book of Psalms, in the 91st chapter.
Yes, sir.
It reads, He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of Yahweh, He is my refuge and my fortress. My Elohim, in Him will I trust. Surely He shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. He shall cover thee with His feathers, and under His wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. 1,000 shall fall at thy right side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. Only with thine eyes shalt thou behold, and see the reward of the wicked. Because thou hast made the Most High, which is my refuge, even the Most High, thy habitation.
That's right.
There shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling.
No.
For he shall give his angels charge over thee,
That's right.
to keep thee in all thy ways. They shall bear thee up in their hands, lest thou dash thy foot against a stone. Then shall tread upon the lion and adder, the young lion and the dragon shall thou trample under feet. Because he hath set his love upon me, therefore will I deliver him. I will set him on high, because he hath known my name. He shall call upon me, and I will answer him.
That's right.
I will be with him in trouble.
Yes.
I will deliver him and honor him. With long life, will I satisfy him and show him my salvation.
Hallelujah! Say God! Thank you all. Thank you. What a blessing and a pleasure it
Yes,
was.
sir. All praise
Yes,
to
to
the
be able to
Most
do
High.
this for him. See y'all.